No, they think that I just come in there and look for knockoffs, and that's not the case. I'm actually a sharp, smart fighter.
So, I'm here. Who wanted to fight me?
I really don't care who's in front of me. I don't feel like no fighter can beat me.
Demolish everybody, to be honest. Everybody that's in my way. The pinnacle to any weight division is to have all the belts, all of the titles.
Welcome to Bodywork. Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to Bodywork Boxing. It feels so good to be back. Man, I don't know if y'all aware, but it's a war going on outside. No man is safe from. It don't matter if you 6 feet or 8'1". Man, it tickles me, man, as I sit back. And I only had the perspective I had, a household I was raised in, being a soldier for 7 years in a United States Army. I just think about things strategic and militant. Sometimes people be like, man, you gotta relax. Yeah, I do. I relax, but when it comes to things that's going on, AC in the building, I see you. A Solston in the building, I see you. Salute to my brethren. OG Cass was in the building earlier. Salute. Hopefully I won't disappoint, but just some quick thoughts, man, because tonight is not about really picking sides between casual fans and hardcore fans. It's about learning how to think. In military history, it's a phrase. The first casualty of war is the truth. In boxing, the first casualty is often context. That's like the word of the month, the word of the year, context. Rumors spread faster than facts. And that's facts plus tax. And that's whack. Narrative spread faster than evidence. All these people getting the benefit of the doubt, running around saying and doing this and no evidence. But the evidence shows, based on words and behavior, follow through, intentions. My goal isn't to tell you what to think. It's just to give you better tools for thinking. If you leave today's show understanding the business of boxing just a little bit better than when you came in, we all gonna win. But the fog of war, man, even the best generals make decisions with incomplete information. Boxing fans do the same. We rarely know every detail behind negotiations, purse bids, or contracts. Don't confuse limited information with complete understanding. A lot of people tend to think that they got complete understanding. It's like, no, you're doing something that's perhaps a cousin to lying, which is omission. Pushing narratives. Infantry versus intelligence. Infantry reacts to what's directly in front of them. Intelligence studies logistics and strategy. Casual fans react to headlines. Informed fans study the business behind them. That's what we do. We try to be on the intelligence side, man. That's what we try to be. Winning the battle versus winning the war. I know y'all know a little bit about that. Winning one online debate doesn't mean you understand the sport. One headline may win today's argument while the bigger picture tells a different story. And that's why we always talk about the bigger picture. AC says stipple. You know, he gave that analogy in the Devil of the Details, one of them episodes he had drop bars. But we try to look at the bigger picture, man. We try to not get lost in the weeds. We don't get stuck on one oak tree. We're looking at the whole forest. Supply lines win wars. Armies survive because of logistics. Boxing survives because of television deals, promoters, sanctioning bodies, investors, and negotiations. It's a multifaceted outfit. The last one is friendly fire. We call it in the Army, that's called fratricide. Friendly fire. Fans who rush to attack fighters or promoters without the facts can unintentionally hurt the sport they love. And I'm seeing a lot of that, man. There's a lot of people ready to quick to attack this and attack that. You know, you go to these places and you frequent these channels and everybody, you just gotta wholeheartedly agree with everything. Like, listen, I don't need anybody around that's gonna wholeheartedly agree with everything. If you happen to agree, okay, cool. But it ain't gonna be no knockdown, drag out if I be like, nah, or you be like, nah, hold up. We're gonna talk it out. We're gonna have a debate. Maybe I'll learn something. Maybe I could be persuaded. I've been persuaded by haters before. They bring up good points. A good point and the truth is just that. The truth of the truth, no matter who tell it. Every now and again, the sun shines on a dog ass. I know y'all heard that before. So sometimes I go places, I hear things, and 80% of it is just ignorance. But they do say a couple good things that stick out. I'm like, okay, Eureka. Walk away with perspective. That's what you do. You should do over here. You know what I'm saying? That's really what you should do over here. And I guess the troll of the day, you know, we got these little trolls that come in and say, you know, insults or whatever right away. But OG Yoda is in the building. Crush, you know what I'm saying? Subscribe to Cass, subscribe to Crush. Those are my OGs, man. Pillars in the game, man. They are. Sometimes I don't even think they really know it, but they kind of preserving boxing conversations, man. If they hang it up, it's gonna be slim pickings out here, man. I'm trying to, you know, contribute the same way they do in their different ways. You know, we got a historian and we just got a real live dude, man, that's just gonna tell it like it is and Crush. You know, Kaz is the historian, so if you haven't subscribed to them guys, you will not be disappointed. Melazar, salute. Johnny, Allison, long time no see, man. I hope the baby boy doing good, man. I know you a big papa now. I know you kind of busy, so, you know, it's just good to see you back in the building. Good to see you back in the building. But with no further ado, man, let me bring on the best co-host in Z-Boxing business. My man, Apple Scrapple. AC. How you feeling? D-Free, salute. What's good? Salute to subscribe to D-Free too, man. Everywhere he go, I see him in a lot of different places, and he be knowing this stuff, man. Very personable guy. Growing like a weed, Johnny. That's good, man. That's good, man. I know you proud papa, man. I know how them initial years are, man. They go by fast, so take plenty of pictures. But how you feeling, AC?
Man, I'm feeling real good, man. Yesterday I went to an event and stuff like that, and in this event it was an invite to talk about the restaurant industry. Very rarely do I go to these things and stuff like that, but it's from a company that I have a lot of respect for and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, I'll just attend. It's a invite. Did my little RSVP. Long story short, this dude shows up that I cooked on Facebook because he kept on trying to friend me in Facebook and on Indeed. You feel me? And this dude was saying he's a consultant, a restaurant consultant. So when I looked at his one of his videos, I was like, how are you talking to the owner to increase revenue of a restaurant? Like, that's not what the owner has. He can make suggestions, but that all falls on the chef. That's why you hired a chef. So when I said that in the comment, he was like, no, see, the reason why I show up at a lot of these events is because chefs have a way of messing up. And I said, well, that's the first decision that first bad decision that the owner made. He probably didn't look at the chef's resume, and he doesn't understand. Cheap chefs are not good. You feel what I'm saying? Good chefs are not cheap. You're putting that man in place to run your business, not to be a yes man to you, because you don't know what it's like to run a kitchen or run a business like that and build a brand. So you're trying to tell a person to build a brand, and they don't even understand the importance of their employees. So once I started to cook him on that level, he was like, look, just look at one of my programs, subscribe to my thing. And I'm like, bro, you trying to sell me something? I'm not interested in that. So I wind up seeing the dude there, and he was talking the same shit. So I had to get up there and heckle the dude like, yo, you don't know what you're talking about. There's a real chef in the room right now that doesn't give a fuck about you. You feel me? And when I said that, everybody gasped, and all of these cell phones popped out and stuff like that. And so the dude is like, well, instead of heckling, just come up here. And I said, yeah, now here's a face to the guy you were debating on Facebook. The guy you keep assisting on joining you on Indeed. So it gives you some sort of credibility because I am highly successful. I come in when the chef when the owner is out of basically other ideas. And long story short, to end it real fast, is that I just smoked this dude. Like, bro, you're trying to sell people something. Everything you says leads to you selling them your program. You're not interested in helping them build their business. You want to sell them your program. Yes or no? And he wouldn't answer the question. And then when I finally got him to answer the question, I said, see how long it took this man to answer an honest question? That's integrity. That tells you what he really feels about your business. And to bring all of it full circle is what these content creators do. They're generally trying to sell you something. Whether it's boxing crack, political crack, whatever it is, these dudes are drug dealers. They're 1980, 1990 crack sellers. They don't give a shit about you. They just want to sell you something and make you think that they really understand you. So whenever you send them one of those cash apps and you do things like that to buy into their bullshit, and they're like, look, and then they play the little video of somebody dancing or whatever little thing that they do, it makes you feel good. It's like the little thing that goes do-do-do-do when you're winning a video game or something like that, and you level up. Oh yeah, now I'm at the master level. Yeah. And you dudes really think you're buying into something or running around, feeling like you got solid information. No, you just paid to be bullshitted. And you're gonna walk around spitting the same shit that you just paid for. And that's why when you go over to other channels, you get cooked. Like D-Free was cooking somebody earlier, and the nigga just couldn't understand what D-Free was saying. And then when he finally got it, what did this dude do? Move the goalposts to try to talk about another fight that was not relevant to the shit you brought up. So right. At the end of the day, bro, I just said like this. When I get frustrated or I look at certain things in the boxing world and I want to speak on it, half the time I'm speaking on it because I see those same things and I keep saying it over and over. A chef's life pretty much overlays how a boxer's life goes. We have to sell ourselves. We have to be, you know, the legends. We got to look at how we're maneuvering in this industry to get to that level. Yeah, you got plenty of great chefs out there, but guess what? They don't make it to the Michelin star level. They don't make it to the 50 world's best level because they had no machine behind them. They didn't go to the fancy schmancy CIA or Le Cordon Bleu. You feel what I'm saying? And then got to, you know, do an externship at some fancy restaurant in Europe, Paris, or maybe here in New York. Some of us had to do it from the mud. Like Body always talks about Hitchens. Hitchens did it from the mud. We talk about fighters like Brian Norman Jr. going down to Mexico, doing it from the mud. Your boy AC do it the same way. That's why I keep trying to say, once these dudes give me my chance and I get that championship fight, bro, that nigga ain't got, listen, I'm stopping that dude in less than 5. I'm gonna look at him and say, oh, you in front of me? Okay, I'm just letting you know right now. You're gonna be stopped in the 5th round, 40 seconds in. I'm gonna be exact to the time. I'm gonna be on some Muhammad Ali shit because I know what I'm dealing with. I done studied you, bro. I know things you do that you don't even know you do. You don't got enough eyes on you to see the mistakes that I've already seen because I studied you. I live, sleep, dream, and you're just on my mind. Yes, you live rent-free in my head because that's how bad I want to beat your ass and prove to everybody I'm really him. So that's the mindset of a chef looking at the industry who loves boxing. So I hope moving forward, people can really, really understand that the meticulousness, the thing that Body was talking about, being meticulous for us is called situation awareness. For Body, it's called situation awareness. Coming from that military background, you have to know what's going on around you and be able to really decipher that and then put it in a plan. For a chef looks at it as logistics. The intel is our logistics. How does this thing work? If I'm good, I could see how it works just by looking at it, looking at your chef, and then talking to you. And that's where I land that plane, bro.
Word. Good insight from a real chef. You know, I'm a chef in my household. But salute to Big Dre. He said bar rescue with a question mark. And he also co-signed that you said D-Free be cooking on a regular. But salute, man. Appreciate everybody in the building, man. I'm gonna get through this housekeeping. Try not to spend a lot of time on the housekeeping because the meat and potatoes is really the meat and potatoes on this one. And there's some things in here I want to go through so that I could hopefully steer the conversation or give you something to go to, you know, these boxing conversations with that's gonna help. You know, it's I don't know. I spend a lot of my time listening and just shaking my head, man. It's like my input. For one, I'm not gonna go. My presence is really not desired, and then my input, it really don't make a difference when I go places because everybody just stuck on what they want to be stuck on. So, you gotta know how to maneuver, man. And sometimes, man, even though silence is consent, you gotta say something. But sometimes, man, it fall on deaf ears. So. Gotta know how to preserve yourself as well. So let me get to this housekeeping. Number one, this Virgil Ortiz slander is getting out of control, man. Granted, this last round of negotiations didn't go his way. A lot of the times, I always preface what I say about certain boxers in certain situations by the fact that you have to consider the promoter that they have. You know, if you look at the history, Oscar and every one of his guys, you look at the fallout he had with Canelo. Who was right, who was wrong? You look at Ryan kicking up against the pricks with Oscar. Who was right, who was wrong? I mean, Ryan wound up getting the tank fight. He wound up pushing forward. Ryan was dead set on this Conor Ben fight. Oscar really didn't want to do it, and maybe that was the little war that he had with you know, Dane and them guys, you know, promotional like Zuffa and all that. But like things shaped up, you know, we got one big side of the street, then we got an island going on. And that's part of the war, right? Some of these guys are compromised because they getting paid from both sides. And they're one and the same. I keep telling everybody that Zuffa is nothing but a feeder system for the bigger picture, which is the ring and all that. And who knows, everybody's speculating that the money running out and all this and all that. But I had to remind people, man, look, Virgil may have messed up on this last round of negotiation, right? We were hearing that there was some crazy demands for what he was asking Boots to do. Boots, being the soldier he is, gonna take short bread, cut his beard, all kind of crazy stuff. That was the last round of negotiation, right? Virgil and his team messed up. I think what people fail to realize is that I think Virgil's manager was being a little bit greedy and trying to do something, go behind Oscar's back, and you can't do that. You know, you're gonna find yourself on the shelf. Oscar has shelved plenty of people. You know, I don't want to go down and pull out my little card in my back pocket that I hate using, but there were a lot of individuals who look like myself who didn't get the time of day over there. Charles Conway, Blair Flair, Speedy Rashidi. He had plenty of talent. Like now we're looking at what Schofield doing. We don't know what he's doing. Some of these things, and he's handling Schofield with kid gloves. They say he can do anything and fight anybody. He'll knock everybody out, 5 styles of boxing and all that. But guess who his promoter is? Oscar. That's a package deal. It's the same thing that sometimes people misconstrue the criticism I have for Boots in his situation with me just criticizing Boots. It's not. It's because he's under Eddie. So if we're going to be forthright, man, we got to stop the OC slander on Virgil. Yeah, it sounded crazy. Those negotiations sounded crazy, right? That was the last round. But it was a round before that when it was a bag on the table, a big bag on the table. And guess what happened? Somebody said no. Then it wasn't Virgil. Did we forget that? So, and I already told them, I said, man, if they go in there acting like the super duper A side, Oscar's gonna make it hard and this and this and that. Like, so we gotta look at the big picture on all this. I think that it's wild that Shakur Stevenson, he won't STFU. He just talking too much. He's overboard. On the other hand, we got people like Boots. We got people like Atheist Ghostbuster Salute. We got people like Boots coming out, right? He's coming out of his shell. He's being more vocal, and that's what we always wanted. Well, guess who else is coming out of this shell? Virgil. A lot of people was wanting to hear from Virgil and wanting him to talk more, and now that he's talking, he's getting all of this crazy criticism. And guess what people are saying? People are saying the same thing that we were saying, AC, before. And I told y'all that hindsight is always going to be 2020 because in this situation, when it was full steam ahead and they were looking at Virgil, I know me personally, I was doing content saying, well, why is he aggressively pursuing Virgil? What has he done? Like, he hasn't done nothing. Like, why is that the big consensus? Go get Bakram. That's when Bakram had a title. Go out the front door. Go out. Oh no, y'all, people thought I was hating, but guess what? Hindsight is 2020, because I'm hearing these same arguments today. I'm hearing people like tooth and nail, like arguing and just shitting all over Virgil, saying the same thing. And I'm like, what changed? Nothing changed. What changed was Boots went and got 2 belts. But what changed on Virgil's end? Nothing. He didn't go get a strap. He didn't lose a strap. He didn't do nothing. Like, what happened? He got into an argument, had a little fiasco with Oscar and them. They patched it up. Guess what that's going to be? A legacy fight on Boots' resume. I never shitted on the fight. I was just saying, listen, I would rather you fight Bakram, but guess what? Josh Kelly stole that thunder. I would rather you fight Fundora. Now we got this side of the street situated, right? And now Fundora said, hey, look, man, it's easy to make because we got all these sides. Like, we got to pick and choose our battles. It ain't going to help just shitting on Virgil all day, every day. Saying what he won't do and what he will do and how he's scared and all this. But Virgil ain't scared of nobody. He was going to fight him when the big bag was there. And Boots was like, nah, I need 2 tune-ups. And then he went in Fort Lima. So, I mean, if you're going to have a conversation about it, let's be balanced. And this is the other thing we're in hindsight. We were always saying, even we was going to another channel, the channel where I met AC at, we was over there on another channel. We used to cook on this all the time. We was just saying, man, look, man, Boots need to move up. Guess what they were saying? And when we were saying he need to move up, guess what they were saying? Russian Boots. That's why I came up with the nickname Russian Boots. Who Russian Boots? The man said he wanted to be undisputed in all these different weight classes, but it looked like it wasn't going to happen. And it was looking like he was getting ready to get passed over. So we were saying push up. They was saying we was hating. Now everybody want to rush Boots. But guess what happened? He said he wanted to get undisputed. He wound up smacking Stallionis, right? Unified. And then he just jumped up arbitrarily. Virgil and had already had plans at the time. They thought, like everybody else thought, that Boots was going to stay down at 47 and go undisputed. Mind you, the offer, that big bag that Turkey had sent, that offer was turned down. So that second time around, yeah, they probably showed their ass. Partly it was probably partly his manager, partly Oscar De La Hoya. But I think we got to be responsible when we talk about these things, because we're not going to, the result of a fight, just like the result of what Boots did to Xander, that don't wipe out the history. There was already an offer. This is the third time. If they are in talks right now, this is the third time at the table. The first time Boots said no. The second time Virgil and whether it was Rick, Oscar, whoever it was, they didn't have their shit together. They had some crazy demands. Let's just let it go. Why? Because we're going to slander this man into where it's like, when they finally do fight, ain't going to be no equity in that fight. I'm like, shit, right now, in the way it's looking, at Pandora getting ready to get a tune-up, right? Josh Kelly getting ready to get this other guy. Why not have Boots fight Virgil right now and then go right into the Pandora? Like, if it's not going to get in the way with the Pandora being next, which is my aim, I want Pandora next. If it's not going to be that, then, I mean, who are they going to fight? Virgil going to have to get active. He's saying he don't need a tune-up, but, like, we got to relax, man. And if we're going to be responsible about the conversation, man, let's not forget, this is the third go-around. Not to mention all that stuff where Virgil has said he got cooked already when he was at 47, talking about he needed 48 months or some crazy shit. He been cooked. That's like this Errol Spence telling his truth thing all over again. Well, we going to cook him again after 4 years? Like what? It's been that time. He's done that time. Get over it. Do we want fights or not? Do we want fighters to get legacy or what? What do we really want? So we got to pick and choose our battles, man. Like, relax on Virgil, man. I think that, yeah, they fucked up that last round in negotiations, but they back. They got to understand it. They understand that we not the A side, like in this no more. We done let that ship done sail. Yes, we know we ain't got no champion. We ain't never been no champion. He's two-time unified. We got to sit down and take whatever they give us. And I think they're going to go ahead and come on in, but let's not paint the market to where we don't really still want to see that fight. Originally, I was saying, man, I know that style is tailor-made, but like, it's the best fight that can happen legacy-wise and money-wise, the biggest fights, right? And then it's the next available opponent. Where Fundora is busy and Josh Kelly is busy, why are we pissing on the fight with Virgil right now? It would make perfect sense. Let's get it in the way, right? Let Boots smack around Virgil, let Virgil upset the apple cart, and then we move right into the front door. That needs, in my opinion, humble opinion, that makes a more sensible conversation. But all this extra shit people saying about Virgil is just like Boots. Gym rat, keep his nose clean, stay out. It ain't really nothing to like about Virgil. But all this extra shit I'm hearing about him, it's kind of weird. And don't become the fan base that, remember I said, don't become the fan base that you despise, because what y'all getting ready to do is y'all getting ready to create a diva. And I remember going through some of these arguments with other fans supporting certain fighters, and this one fan base is turning into a fan base of a guy who just retired. Don't do that. Do not become the fan base that you despise, because I'm hearing some of the same arguments. This is almost like, okay, when they say ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, now it's like y'all out try rabbit ass minds acting the same way, acting like the same fan base that we just got rid of by somebody retiring. Don't do that, because y'all gonna create a diva. Y'all gonna create a diva. I'm telling y'all, man. I already see the images. I already see the glimpses of it. I see it's the makings, the writings on the wall, man. Relax. Let's push for these fights. Let's try to create the demand and say, yeah, we want to see that right now. It makes sense. Yeah, let's get this in the way. So everybody coming to the table, they come on in, we get another big fight in the books, and we can build it up, talk our smack, make our picks, and we move on. But like, relax on Virgil, man. He play an instrument. He be in the gym. He stay active. He keep his nose clean. No outside of the ring issues. He just like Boots. There's nothing really not to like about them guys. The fight is long overdue. It need to happen. But the way we up, but this he got to go to the back of the line. And yesterday's price ain't today's price. That Eddie said all that dumb shit. That's Eddie once again. The tale of two Eddies, man. He can be brilliant or he can be like shitty. And to me, it don't make no sense. If we want to see big fights, if we want to see good fights, it might not be biggest money, it might not be whatever, but that's a good competitive fight. That's the green print. That has history. There's plenty of historic value. You can draw and pull up videos and track record. It's just add water. It's ready to go. Y'all know that John Legend song? I'm ready to go right now. That fight is ready to go right now. If you want to stay active, keep your momentum, and then go ahead and you know what I'm saying, and then have a fight, you know what I'm saying, right after the front door stuff, and then y'all can go right into the front door fight when everybody, like, y'all be damn near on the same timeline if y'all set it up right. So what are we talking about, y'all? Let's get our goggles on right so we can look at everything the right way and stop pushing this dumb stuff. Right. Big Dre, you know what I'm saying? Right, Big Dre, you right. That's the first one. The second one, Eddie hints at Bivol and Beterbiev 3. Right? Me, I don't want to see it. I wouldn't mind seeing it, but I really don't want to see it. I just want them to book in this. I'm tired of that being there like get out of jail free card. It's a reason for them to drop belts, to not fight David, to not like to ruin the equity in the fight. I would hope they just go ahead and get it on. You know, I want them to go ahead and just like, let's just settle up this trilogy. It's just like that, like when Canelo had Triple G. Remember when I was saying that the whole video, I said, man, Triple G was like Canelo's side chick that he could hit whenever he want. He did it twice, and then what he do? He just arbitrarily decided, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and fight. I'm gonna go out the trilogy with Triple 3. Did we want to see it? It's like, let's bookend it with the third one. Okay, you know, you get your, but we didn't really want to see that shit. That was just his side chick he could hit whenever he want. And that's what's happening with his Bivol and Beterbiev stuff. Beterbiev probably gonna get that fight if he win. He probably gonna ride off in the sunset. I don't got him fighting none of the young hungry lions. Bivol, he still got something on the table because he just had the back surgery, he's looking good or whatever. It's familiarity with Beterbiev. It does make sense to have the third one, but it's not something I'm jumping for joy for. I just, if they are going to do it, let's go ahead and get a date and get that fight on so we can talk our shit, make our picks, you know what I'm saying, and have our little conversations about that and get that out the way. It needs to not be a barrier anymore as to why we can't link up either one of these guys with other smoke, because I've been waiting to see Bivol and David. That's the fight I've been wanting. Benny, I don't bet against him, but Bivol is my guy. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy. So I've been wanting to see that fight because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if the acumen and whatever, but that's the fight I really want from Bivol. But let's put some energy out there that, okay, if they're going to do this third one, okay, let's get it on. Sign it up. Come on in, y'all. Like, get the particulars out the way. It don't need to be negotiated in the media. And let's just get that fight and move on so we can book in this shit and let Bivol get somebody else like David. You know what I'm saying? And that's a fight I really want to see. I've been salivating for that fight for shit almost 2 years now. So that's my thoughts on that. But that's what Eddie's saying. He's saying that WBO, he's not going to face Callum Smith. Callum Smith will probably face Buatsi. That fight is probably good. I like the Callum Smith and Buatsi. You know, I can appreciate that fight, you know, but he's probably going to drop the WBO. So let's not let that come as no surprise. And, you know, and have all this dumbass stuff. Oh, look at him. He ducking Callum Smith. Like, come on, man. All that dumbass shit. No, he's going to book in the 3. Right? Hopefully they can get that on the books. We can get that by the end of the year or you know what I'm saying, or the beginning of the next year. However they're going to do it. We in July. We heading into the latter part of July. You know what I'm saying? We in the third, the last third of July, going into August. So 5 months left. So hopefully we can get something and they can book in that, and that story, that tale, whatever they're going to do, that can be over and done with. You know, but that's what Eddie was saying, and Eddie would know. The last one. I blame Eddie for the fiasco. He started by lowballing unification, about offering championships, fighters. Yeah, I say that all the time. I'm like, man, Eddie do that, man. That's why I said it, man. It'll seem like you shitting on his fighter, but Eddie, man, he done learned. He done learned some ways, but he's so charismatic in the media, and he can sell salt to a snail. You know, I mean, you know, promoting you and making you sound like you just like the best thing since sliced bread. When you're under his wing, he'll do that. When you're not, you know, like the way he doing Devin and Shakur, not so much. When they was under his wing, they was the best things ever. You know what I'm saying? I think he really believed it when it come to Boots, because Boots is different than them guys. I think he believes it, but like Eddie, man, is the tale of two Eddies. Don't get me started on him. But that was according to Eddie, you know, that's what he's saying. The last one. Demetrius Boo Boo Andre is coming back. He faced tragedy in his life. He is 38 years old, but he's fighting on Friday night, y'all. So I think he's 32-1. Remember, he only lost one fight. You know, he made that grave mistake, and that was the example that I always give when I actually talk about Eddie. It's like, no, I like some of the guys that's up under Eddie. I liked a lot of the guys because Eddie was a master at procuring American talent, taking them over there and then building up his guys off of them and not getting them in the big fights. He's doing all right with Boots now, you know what I'm saying, because Boots just landed that Xander fight, and that was a pretty big fight. But like the track record, it's not that great with Eddie in these big fights. Yeah, he get his guys big fights, a la Conor Ben and Eubanks in that circus show with the you know, Eubanks, you know, damn near being a ghost, getting in the ring with him or whatever. He's good at that. This Katie Taylor shit, yeah. He's good at getting his guys those big blockbuster fights. With our guys, the guys that he plucked from America, not so much. He's doing okay now. He just now turned the corner with Boots. Let's just hope that he continued to do that. But Boo Boo was the example that we gave. And that was the example I always use. I'm like, Boo Boo went over there to Matchroom. He went over there to Matchroom for Triple G and Canelo. And guess what? He didn't get none of them fights, but they fought 3 times. Eureka. And all he got was a European bum bashing tour before he had to come back to PBC and go through the ring, and he ran into David Benavidez. That's his only loss. I'm glad he's able to get some bread on the table, feed his family, bounce back from the tragedy, get his mind back, and, you know, something that he's been doing for a very long time. Very skilled boxer. You know, perhaps if we would have saw the Demetrius Boo Boo Andre before we seen Bud, because he can duplicate a lot of things that Bud was able to do, maybe he would have put another smudge on Canelo's record if he would have got him. Because remember, he would run up on him saying, "Fight me." And then remember, Canelo, they made memes and what you call them, the "you want payday" and I know that and all that stuff, and, you know, horrible fighter and all this dumb shit Canelo was getting away with saying. But Boo Boo and Big Charlo was on his ass early on, you know what I'm saying, and Canelo found a way not to fight them guys. He ultimately fought Little Charlo, who jumped up from 54 to 68 and didn't fight the right way. That's my guy, but I'm calling it straight down Z middle. But Boo Boo is back, y'all. So much like Earl Spence, he's not getting slandered the way Earl Spence is on his comeback, you know. But Demetrius Andre gave us some good times. You know, he's from the Northeast region. You know, a good guy, a funny guy. Mr. It's me again. You know what I'm saying? I did a little short on him one time and he shouted me out. So he know who I am. He know the channel rock with him. I did give a fair assessment when he fought my man, Demond Nicholson. Demond Nicholson is from Laurel. I graduated from Laurel High School out here in Maryland. So I just gave a fair assessment on that. You know what I'm saying? And I always had positive energy for Boo Boo, man. He just ran into David and he had some inactivity. And remember, he pulled away from a fight with Jermell Charlo the week of. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't quite as bad as what Richardson Hitchens did, but he was a week out and he did that. So that kind of got him in the doghouse, and a lot of people was complaining like why he had to go through the ringer. He had to go through the ringer because you got to pay the piper. You know what I'm saying? When you sow seeds, then those seeds are going to reap a harvest, and his harvest probably was, okay, now you coming back. Okay, well, we ain't gonna like touch you. You know, you made us lose. You know, you made us lose out on some things early on. We're gonna give you an opportunity. That opportunity happened to be David, and he started off okay, but David is David. Benny is Benny, as AC call him. You know what I'm saying? The Mexican master, the way Tyson said. That's the housekeeping, y'all. That is the housekeeping. AC, what you got on the housekeeping?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it kind of real simple though. I'm gonna start off with Virgil. For me, with Virgil, I've been 50-50 about Virgil, to be honest. Sometimes he has me where I'm like, yeah, Virgil is that guy. I could rock with Virgil. Then I don't know if it's his team or whatever the case may be, some weird stuff will happen and it'll be like, Virgil, bruh, come on, man. You feel what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I don't try to specifically crap on Virgil's name. I think he is a good fighter. I think if the fight between him and Boots ever gets made, mostly probably by the way some of the talking points will go, I'll just be trying to bring up those some of those real life things that I say are pros for Virgil, to where Virgil, I can see Virgil, possibly beating Boots. You know what I'm saying? For me, the beard aspect of it, it's a little weird in this era. I grew up in an era where fighters, you couldn't go in the ring with a beard like that. No matter what state, Vegas, California, New York, Philly, they're not going to let you fight at that level with a beard that thick. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't know what rules changed. I don't know when did that become a preference for the fighter. Maybe it's always been. You feel what I'm saying? And you're supposed to uphold that if the other fighter requested, if your beard is a little bit in the spirit of competition. I don't know those particular aspects of it. It's something I'll probably just Google when we get into the meat and potatoes part in the background. But at the end of the day, I can see certain aspects of, he does have a legitimate point to ask that. You feel what I'm saying? So, we'll just see how it goes. Yes, Virgil was absolutely wrong, in my opinion, where he botched up, him and his manager botched up the first agreements and stuff like that. You wanted to use big dog leverage. Neither one of y'all had a belt. I'm in agreement with Body right now to say simply, look, Virgil, you have no hardware. You have an interim belt. That's like, to me, interim belt is like attempted murder. Like, how the fuck do I charge you, bro? You're not it. I can't put you up there with the big dogs that actually, got a body on their joint. You feel what I'm saying? So an attempted murder charge is, I was going over there to shoot somebody, but I never made it. You feel what I'm saying? Or I shot at you and missed in the case of Virgil. So Virgil, I'm happy that you and Oscar made up. I'm happy that Oscar decided to, give you a second opportunity to come off the shelves. And at this particular point, Virgil, I hope you learned your lesson about what we always talk about, the business of boxing. Yeah, the business of boxing is knowing how to carry yourself. Because that thing me and Body kept on talking about with that Shakur thing, likeness. You fuck up likeness with a company, man, you're on the outs. And the fuck up likeness is just talking shit about the company or whatever dumb shit you may try, So with that being said, that's that whole Virgil situation. I'm gonna support the fight. I do see a clear path of Virgil beating Boots, but it requires some film study and the right type of pressure. I don't think it's a smart idea for Boots to get into that type of trade he got in with Xander, because if you get caught like that, Virgil knows what to do. You know what I'm saying? And he will finish you. Stylistically, I think you're going to beat the shit out of Virgil. Boots is going to beat the shit out of him. But I'll save all of that for the thing. But I do see a path that Virgil could possibly win if he adapts a particular style, if he has that type of athleticism. But after that, I'm gonna speak on the Bivol versus Beterbiev thing. Y'all turning this into, spoiled milk. The Maidana Pacquiao saga, I think that was like 4 fights, maybe even 5, but we were clamoring for it because every time they got it in, it was something that was special to look at. You feel what I'm saying? Both those dudes fought their heart out in every last one of their matchups. Now, the important thing is not how many times they fought, but what they presented every time they got in the ring. Bivol and Beterbiev, you guys had that, but then the Turk fucked that up. For whatever reason, the Turk fucked that up. He also fucked up the Benavidez jump off. So we gotta dismiss the argument that the Turk wants to get the best fights out of the way. You feel what I'm saying? Or wants to make the best fight. You fucked up the third one. There was no reason for it. So that's where I'll just leave that, because that's something you just gotta embody. Bodyworks talk, put the stake in the ground and just, put that seed in the ground and let's see what flourishes later on. You know what I'm saying? And for the last one, Boo Boo's comeback. That's another fighter that I want to see come back. He's charismatic. He brings a lot of funny energy to the game and stuff like that. He's a character. He's the type of character you want to see in the ring. He brings something special when there's a Boo Boo fight. Regardless of how people may feel about him, was I ever a big fan of Boo Boo Andre? No. I felt you have talent, and I wanted to see you and the Charlo get it on, but you walked away from that, and then that was like, oh, bro, why would you walk away from that one? Out of everything that was there, why would you walk away from that one? And then there was the Jennebeck situation. Regardless, I don't give a shit about the money, bro. You beat Jennebeck. That's the more important thing. So, yeah, there was some things in his career that was like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm happy to see the dude back, because even though I may not be one of his biggest fans, I do appreciate what he brings to the sport, how he sells fights, how he talks about things, and those are the type of things that I really, really like. And if I'm correct, you tell me, didn't he get it in with Billy Joe Saunders?
No. Billy Joe popped hot.
Yeah, they were supposed to get it in. Yeah.
They were supposed to. Yeah, they got up close, and Billy Joe popped hot.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, that's another missed opportunity, as far as legacy and really building that name. Whereas he could have had momentum in, even though he was B side to some fighters, A side to other fighters, he still was in a good position to, whereas the fights that he was looking for, if he would have got the right type of leverage, he would have easily made those fights. You feel what I'm saying? Chasing Canelo, I think, was a big mistake, but you live and you learn. And that's where I'll land that plane. Yeah, somebody
I was on mute. Good stuff. I was on mute. But salute to Melazar, salute to Swar.
Salute.
My guy, man, salute.
But yeah, man, we just wrapping up on the housekeeping so we get to the meat and potatoes. Y'all got anything on the housekeeping? Anything y'all want to chime in on?
Well, you still.
No, go ahead.
Well, what's up, Royers? What's up, AC? Who is there too? I can't see. I don't have my eyeglasses.
He new to the channel. Swah. He came on a couple episodes ago.
Oh,
what's happening?
Salute, my brother.
Yeah,
you guys was talking, with the infamous Oscar, his promotion, how people go. Yo, he got Oscar El Popito Collazo, right? In 105, he's unified, and he cannot find him fights, of course, in the state with the Mexican, because they don't have a lot of boxers. And we all know the money makers are in Japan, Philippines. Why you don't got this guy fighting over there and making money over there? Oh, because he cannot just get out of freaking California, Arizona. He got collazo for weekend fighting in Arizona in a small venue. Why? Like, you know, his crowd, his people is in the East Coast. You know, like, and you know the money's in Japan. So now he's moving him to 112 to fight some champion and stuff. Like, he just got a fight, I think, like 2-3 weeks ago with some crappy boxer. You know, in 112, he won whatever by knockout and whatever, but it's not what you're expecting, right? So I see like Verger and a bunch of boxers got tired of that BS, like, because in this Oscar is trying to win the biggest piece of the cake, like when he was a boxer, and these boxers, he's not getting him good fights, so they don't catch in. So he find another ways, and I never like him. I never like Oscar. I never like the way he do business, and I think I don't like Eddie Hearn neither. But at least Eddie Hearn have his boxers fighting more constantly, you know, and he got them here and there, and always find a way for a fight and whatever. Oscar, how long Virgil Ortiz been in the shelf? You know?
Yeah.
At least Boots was not fighting with the top, but he was fighting, and then suddenly made a Sander Sayas. Boom. And I can tell you a bunch of stuff. You know, we don't like Eddie Hearn all the time. Mira, Andy Cruz, he got Andy Cruz, small fight, and then on Murataya. He lose that fight, he lose it, but he fought again. Like, his opponent went and fought. That was this fight for the WBO, 135 with Abdullah Mason, right? His opponent, he supposedly was gonna fight at Andy Cruz, but then this fight came up, but Eddie Hearn ended up fighting a replacement for Andy Cruz too, so he don't stay hanging. You know, was not the best opponent, no, but Andy Cruz got a knockdown, yes. With the other opponent, he will got a knockdown, I don't think so, and the fight maybe look really ugly and people don't want to see him again. So at the end of the day, Eddie Hearn did his job. He promoted, he got fights and stuff. Oscar is not doing that. Look, freaking the Inferno Tower. He's with Oscar too. Who he's fighting? No,
he's not.
No, he's with PBC. He's with PBC. Yeah. I forgot. But now PBC with that zone, that's good. I think PBC now is gonna have more fights, more events, because now they got a stable streaming service, you know, a platform to showcase their stuff. So let's see. But yeah, Oscar, whatever. It doesn't matter with who, you know. He's a snake. At least Eddie is kind of a
just
snake,
like
but
that.
yeah. But you know, he tried to be the good guy and stuff when we all know you're a piece of shit. At least Eddie keep his mask off, you know, and he, you know, whatever. This is boxing, and this
good points though.
Good
points in favor. That's why I say it's the tale of two Eddies. You hate him sometimes, you love him sometimes, but he bipolar a little bit. You know what I'm saying, with what he do. But you're right. Good points. And Oscar is like that's really what Leonard Ellaby said. He said, man, he was sleeping at the wheel. Sometimes he is sleeping. He still kind of sleep. He be dozing off at the wheel sometimes, you know. But what you got, Swar?
Oh man, hey, salute to, you know, everybody on the panel, man. Hey, Body, AC, Meliza, hey man, it's a blessing to be here, man. It's hot as hell in Texas, man. So I saw y'all was on. I was like, yo, I'm gonna cool down and get on here real quick, man. Yo, man. I wanted to ask Body, what when you say Virgil Ortiz slander is OC, like what's the OC mean?
Out of control.
Okay,
it's getting a little out of control. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
yeah,
you know, it's like, yeah, you know, I can't, you can't rule how everybody, you know, guide the comment, but every day, just all day, just like let it go, because this was their third time at the bat. The Boots turned down the first time, and it was for a big turkey bag. You know what I'm saying? Virgil, you know, I guess he had the crazy demand this before Boots fought Xander, and so you know all the demands and what Eddie and Rick Morgan was doing, Rigian, whatever his name is, whatever they was doing, you know what I'm saying? He fucked it up the second time. So this is the third time. It's like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like y'all kind of even in you know, you turn down a big bag, bro. Like you think Oscar, and that's what my point was back then. You think and salute to Crush, but you think that Oscar ain't gonna hold that, you know, would be a little bit bitter because he was gonna get a chunk of that change, and, you know what I'm saying? And that's why Devin and Brian Norman got it, because the money was there, was no issue. So you turned down that bag. So I was saying in real time, I was saying, yeah, Virgil I was saying Oscar's gonna show his ass the next time around, and they did, and it backfired. So now we at the third time. So it's like, is y'all gonna fight? Is this drama show gonna continue? But just let the slander go, because Virgil is still a good guy at the end of the day. He might not have got, you know what I'm saying? He definitely needed a shot at a championship, you know what I'm saying? But like at the same time, it's like, if we want Boots to have some legacy, man, let's find ways to encourage the fight if it makes sense, and it's not going to interrupt the front door and the legacy shit with the belt. It's not going to interrupt, then you know what I'm saying? It makes sense to me. That was my point.
No, for sure. No, for sure. I mean, for sure. I mean, just, you know, just from what I know about it, and then us just having this conversation right now, like, I think that's the biggest thing going on with Virgil. Like, he should have a belt right by now. And the thing is now when things is cooking and they're getting serious. See, I ain't gonna lie, I'm a Virgil fan. He writing grandparent, you know. I'm in the DFW, so everybody, we knew Virgil, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is like, once you got momentum, you got to keep it going. Any hiccup is bad, especially when it comes to bread, promoters, and all this stuff, and how boxing changed. I'm with you. I think the biggest thing, I think that people bashing him, of course, you know, even, you know how people are, man. Some people got legitimate criticism, and some people just criticizing because everybody criticized. You already know how that goes. So what's happening, I think Virgil's getting a mix of all of that. But I think that Virgil, that management thing he did with Oscar really screwed him. And the reason why it broke trust, whatever the camp was doing or whatever, you know, how close you were to getting that belt. So in the midst of that, you know what's crazy? In the midst of that, he was still going through the negotiations and trying to make fights and shit. You know, that's hard to do when you're a promoter. You going at it with your promoter. And I think that all of that, from the first fight where that, you know, that didn't happen, the second fight, that didn't happen. I think now people just tired of the bullshit when it comes to just what's surrounding Virgil Ortiz. You know what I'm saying? Everybody kind of looking at Virgil like, hey, man, you and Oscar, get it right, man. Get back together, buddy up, see what you're going to do, see what plan, like map out the plan. That's the thing. Like, if Virgil, like, say, for instance, Eddie and them going to make sure he take whatever Eddie give him if they want that fight, because Eddie is all about himself, just like he is. If he got leverage, he gonna fight for it. But if he ain't got no leverage, he'll ghost you. So I think that now that he has the leverage with Boots just coming out of a big performance, Ortiz is still a threat to beat Boots. I think even Eddie know that, but he like, I'm gonna break y'all in order to fight. And see, at this point, Victor ain't got no choice. You ain't got no belt,
right?
We already got bad blood with negotiations. So I ain't gonna lie, it's gotta be Oscar and Victor come together on agreement. Like, we gotta thug it through this shit if we want it, because we messed it up. Or we just had a bad place right now as far as if we want to negotiate with them. They winning right now.
Yeah, the tables turn. Yeah, it's right. So Virgil is in a compromised position. The tables turn. So he gotta come on in or move on. So you know what I'm saying? That's really how it should be. But I'm not at the thing where I'm just gonna sit around all day and keep just slandering the dude. It's like, okay,
yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Shit happens. Like, this the third go around. What we gonna do about it? We gonna sit around and just, you know, social media war to death, or we gonna get a fight? You know what I'm saying?
But that's how I know who really was in tune with how the build up is to now, because you so exhausted from the last couple of things. You really don't say nothing about it except get it done. You know what I mean? Like, if you on the internet bashing them like that, you must just now catching on, man. We've been going through this shit with Virgil and Boots. This like You know what I'm saying? It's like 3 years, almost 3 years in the making, and it still ain't working. So
yeah, because Virgil went through this with Stanyana. It was like 3, you know, and at the time,
a lot of people just
Stanyana was the guy I was checking
criticize,
for.
man. Yeah,
you know,
they just criticize. But I mean, I get you. I think it's out of control. I think it's a little. I think it's a little. It's definitely overdue when you know it's been shaky anyway. Like, wait until things start piecing together, then we can get serious about it. But until those things tie in, we ain't getting that. Not right now. But I wanted to say something with Boo Boo. Boo Boo was the one on the housekeeping list that I wanted to touch on. I think Boo Boo is like the tortoise in the hare, but I think he was the hare, and whatever tortoise caught up with him just out and gave, you know, because he shot out and he had this vibe and he had this not even clout. He just, people knew he could fight. He had the look. They was like, yeah, he gonna be something special. And he was just, you know, from a different side. I think Caribbean, something like that. He got some kind of
Cape Verde.
accent. Yeah. And shouts out to them. But the thing is, he had that, and he was, I think AC was saying it. You waited so long to force these things to happen. Your own like hype passed you by, because by the time you was waking up and realized it was hard to get these fights and things was happening, misfortunate, and realize that life come at you like it come at you, and you ain't got no reset button. You better take it while you can get it, because it might not be there tomorrow. Like Boo Boo's, and on top of that, people didn't want to fight him. Boo Boo, he should have inserted himself instead of staying quiet, cool, you know, nonchalant about everything. You should have inserted yourself and just took your own kind of vibe and took it towards the managers and promoters. He sat back too much, and by the time you woke up, you had David Benavidez.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? By the time you woke up and seen what was happening to you, you know, like when Mannnn said, "Oh, now you getting scared." You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, now you scared. Now you want to, okay. Then the next thing you got is David Benavidez. That shut him down. Like, after all the, you know, just at the end of the race, losing like that to David. You know, I think he lost in 7, and David stopped him. Yeah, he stopped him. Like, you ain't supposed to get stopped if you want, you know, and I ain't gonna lie, I think I love Boo Boo, but that's what happens when you miss out on them opportunities and you don't catch that wave, because by the time you wake up, you might still have a wave, but you're gonna run into a monster that'll stop you.
Yeah, he was just a victim. To me, he was a victim of thinking the grass is greener on the other side, because
absolutely
Eddie was selling a lot of people and coming on over here, and like, you know, because that's how he did Devin. You know what I'm saying? He got Devin and he was trying to get a whole bunch of people over there, and Boo Boo, you know. So that's it on Boo Boo. But like, but to Johnny's point, going back to the Boots thing, I've been said Boots gonna beat the shit out of Virgil, but see, my opinion on how I think the outcome is gonna be, because I've been saying Virgil was tailor made for him. That's why I said originally, when I was saying why is he pursuing Virgil so much. I know they had the history. I was like, man, I wanted him to fight Baccarat. I wanted him to fight Fondor. I wanted him to fight some of them guys and not Virgil at that time, because I'm like, that's just another tailor-made style. I want to see him against some guy that got some different nuances that'll give him something. That's my opinion on the fight. My opinion on the fight is different than following the different negotiation times, you know what I'm saying, and what was going on and who had what point, trying to be even about it. But go ahead, D Free. I know you got a lot to say, man. Salute, D Free.
What's going on, fellas?
What's happening?
I mean, salute.
With this whole Virgil thing, it's like Virgil is at the back of the line. He got to go do something to make Boots put you in place to fight now, because right now Boots is on a tear for getting the belts. He wants to fight Josh Kelly. He wants to get the Sebastian Findor fight. Virgil is the interim title holder for the WBC. What he can do is try to petition for the winner, because they're not gonna make Findor fight him, because Findor is fighting a mandatory now. So he can petition to fight the winner once Sebastian Findor and Boots have that fight, if they do come to terms and make that fight, because it looks like Eddie Hearn is going to get Jerome Bucenas, the winner of the Josh Kelly fight, next, and then they're going to try to probably make an undisputed fight for the beginning half of 2027. So Virgil can try to become the mandatory for the winner of that fight because he does have the interim title holder. But a lot of this is Virgil's doing because you agreed to have that fight with Jerron Bucenis. Jerron Bucenis took the smaller deal. He took the B side in the negotiations, and y'all agreed on a number. And then when it was time to make the fight happen, you decided you wanted to make the number much bigger. And so we can't fault nobody but Virgil Ortiz in this situation because it was all his doing. Even Oscar came out and said, well, I was trying to get you more money. I got you $3 million, but you wanted $7 million when you had already agreed to 2.5. He got you the $3 million. So it's like Virgil's at the back of the line because Boost is not chasing the money. Boost is chasing the titles. He's looking to become undisputed. That was one of the goals in his career, to become undisputed. He was close at 47, but he couldn't get the other champions to get in the ring with him. So he decided to move to 54. Now he got 2 belts again, and he's like, no, I'm gonna pursue my goal and become undisputed. We can revisit the Virgil fight after I become undisputed, or at least after I try to become undisputed. Then we can go ahead and revisit that Virgil fight. But right now, he's not on the table. So Virgil just got to sit back and try to make that fight with somebody else.
Well, with that timeline, if that's how they're gonna do it, okay, cool. I didn't know. I'm looking at it like, okay, if Josh Kelly getting ready to fight and Fundora getting ready to fight not too long after that, then it'll be a good time for them to go ahead and get something going so that next fight could be, one of them unifications. But if Boots gonna sit tight until that happens, then I can't blame him. He is in the driver's seat right now. So,
yeah, because what Boots is what they're going to try to do, because Josh Kelly is fighting Saturday. So the winner of that fight, Eddie Hearn, is going to try to make that Jerron Bucenis fight for December because Jerron wants to get another fight in before the year is out. They're going to try to make that fight for December. And if they can make that fight for December, you got Sebastian fighting in November. I could see them probably coming to an agreement, or at least trying to negotiate that fight for sometime in April or May for next year for Undisputed.
If that's the plan, cool. I got trust issues when it comes to Eddie, because if Josh Kelly had that contract, he had that contract for Boots before the Bakram fight. So it's just okay. So if they're gonna do that, then cool. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no.
That was Josh Kelly getting big. Josh Kelly got big headed and was like, "Oh, I got options," and then he turned down. Which he did have a couple of options. He could have fought Xander Zayas, but he turned that fight down too. So I'm like, okay, yeah, you got options, but you turning down the options that you do have. You could have got the Xander Zayas fight and made that a 3-belt unification, but you turned the fight down. So it was like Josh Kelly got big-headed, and it usually happens when guys get a title for the first time in their career, especially with guys that most people don't think is champion worthy, and they happen to luck up and get a win and get a title. They try to hold on that belt long as they can. I mean, we look at Rolly. Rolly just now about to get another fight in. He held on that belt after he beat Ryan Garcia, and there was talks to him and Devin Haney, but that was almost a year later after you fought Ryan Garcia. So a lot of times when you get these guys that get the belts that they shouldn't have the belt, they try to hold on to it as long as they possibly can.
Yeah, you got before we go into the main thing, you got anything else on anything up here? Like as far as the Bivol Beterbiev or Boo Boo's comeback?
Bivol, I think he's trying to age out Beterbiev. He avoided David Benavidez. I don't have a lot of faith in Bivol right now. But as far as Boo Andrade, I mean it's a decent fight for Boo Andrade. He trying to get back active. I don't think he's gonna make a run for another title or anything like that. He's 38 years old. This is the tail end of his career. I think he just wanna go out with a win. I don't think he wanna go out being sitting in the corner and quitting. I don't think he wanna end his career like that. So I think this is a fight that get him back in the win column he might get another fight after this, or this might be his last fight. I just think with a guy that's 38 years old who don't really have the buzz behind him anymore, they don't want to go out sitting there on the stool quitting. And Boo Boo Andrade, he's a fighter that made a lot of bad mistakes in his career. He sat there and signed with Rock Nation when a lot of people told him not to sign with Rock Nation. He signed with them, and then he went over to Matchroom where all of the fights that you wanted was on another platform. So it was just a bunch of bad decisions that he made in his career, and unfortunately, it didn't pan out the way he thought it would.
Can I just ask one question? Why was people saying it was a bad idea to sign the Rock Nation?
Because Rock Nation didn't have the fights for him to make, and Rock Nation was new to the game, and they really didn't know how to move in the sport of boxing. As you see, they didn't last long. Rock Nation was, a lot of people didn't even know Rock Nation was in boxing. They didn't last long. They last maybe about 2-3 years, and then it was gone.
Well, they did big up Andre Ward and Clarissa Shields.
They
did help promote Terrence Crawford on the low. Like their main function, because like I've told other dudes, like me and Brian, we mad cool. We've worked together, and I could tell you the space that Rock Nation has moved into. They do a hell of a lot in the restaurant space. You feel what I'm saying? Dealing with high level restaurants nowadays. But other than that, yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, they don't really know. Like Brian was trying to get into that space. If you go all the way back, Rock Nation was trying to rock with Gamboa. You feel what I'm saying? They wanted to sign Gamboa. They wanted to sign a couple of other fighters and stuff like that. But the type of PR company they were, you were doing really, really well for hip hop. You feel what I'm saying? Boxing, it just wasn't there for them. They didn't have the right connections.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like that's the reason why a lot of people was telling, because at that time everybody was leaving Golden Boy and going over to PBC, and Boo Boo chose to go to Rock Nation. And I mean, and he just had a string of bad luck as far as decision making. His manager was taking money from him. He had a string of bad luck. And when he signed with Eddie Hearn, he was over there at that time. Eddie Hearn wasn't doing no business with the PBC. He was trying to do all of the business over in the UK. This is when Eddie Hearn was talking about DAZN was going to put pay-per-view out of business and all that. So at that time, Eddie Hearn wasn't doing business with the PBC, where those were all the guys that Boo Boo wanted to fight, all the guys that Boo Boo needed to fight in order to put his name on the boxing industry the way he wanted to, because they had, I mean, outside of Canelo, who DAZN had, they didn't have anybody else for Boo Boo Andrade. They had Canelo, that was it, and they never got him the Canelo fight.
Yeah. He did, he got to take some ownership and responsibility, It is what it is, man. He still only got one loss. He's an older gentleman. I think, it'd be good to get some money in his pocket. I think he lost his mom's, and, heart goes out to him. I just hope he get back, get his feel, I'd rather him do this than do bare knuckle boxing, because we see what's been happening. These boxers been getting fucked up doing some bare knuckle.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But let's get into the meat and potatoes.
Hey, Bobby, can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
I wanted to say something real quick, because this has been my thing with Eddie Hearn, Boots, and the whole Josh Kelly thing. See, man, Josh is from England. Eddie's from England. Like, it's a certain pride that they got over there in England. And my thing is, with him having Boots, we know that Josh got that. Man, he got that belt, and Boots won it. What would make Eddie do that? And that's what I'm curious to find out with that situation. So I didn't want to drag it on, but that's my thing with that situation.
See, we think along the same lines. See, I'm thinking he gonna try to do that Caleb Plant shit and be the last man standing, because he got the leverage. And it's like Pac-Man. You got to go get that pellet and all them pellets up in that corner over there. And he gonna, I don't know, man. I got trust issues when it comes to Eddie, man.
Yeah, but me in that way, like, I really don't care capturing the 4 titles of not. You know, you already unified. I believe in making money and getting the best opponents that are more keys for him right now. You know, bringing more crowd. Like that Virgil Ortiz is freaking fire. Is who else is over there in 150? I forgot the names. But Josh Kelly right now, like Josh Kelly to sell that fight here in the States. Yes, you can sell, but it's not like a marquee fight, like gonna bring that crowd. If you build right now like boots with couple good names, you know, good names, no, real good names.
But
Then you
this
can
the
sell
thing.
him as the main event, and
But
then
this
you
the
can
thing.
get Fundora. Fundora is bigger name than Kelly.
It is, but this the thing though, Melazar. This is what I'm looking at. They got that stadium of light that hold 47,000,
Yep.
Where?
and that's their leverage
Where?
over
In
there.
England?
Over there, yeah.
Bro, $50 a seat.
Hell yeah, man. What?
Yeah.
UK?
But no, I'm saying
Hey.
as far as how it goes, because this
And
is
they
like,
don't-
this is
they-
Caleb Plant, and when Canelo went on his undisputed run, and Caleb was the last man standing, you know what I'm saying? He knew. Okay, I got this strap, and this is what he want to do, and I can't put it past
but
Eddie
that's
that he's not
Canelo.
gonna try to leverage Kelly like that. You know what I'm saying?
You're talking about Josh Kelly. Like Josh Kelly don't bring 2,000 freaking British and fill up his Josh
Yes, he
Kelly.
will.
If they announce,
Against Boots, yes,
if
he
they
will.
announce
Yes,
that
he
Boots
will.
gonna go to Stadium of Light, even though he don't have to, but I'm just saying, man, I don't know. Maybe y'all trust Eddie more than me, but I don't know, man. Because
I
if
don't
he
trust
had
I
him,
don't trust Eddie. But no, and Boots don't need to get out of the United States for what? Hell no.
He gonna have to.
Here's where
He
the
gonna
money
have
at.
to. Look, he,
No, what I
he
think
gonna
I
have
think
to.
I think
He gonna
Eddie
have to.
realized
For what?
I think Eddie realized what he
That's
has
dope.
in Boots. I think he realized he has another AJ with Boots because he can make a lot of money with Jerron Boots in it.
In the
I- and I-
United
He,
States.
he can, but the dude that has Josh Kelly is his countryman. That stuff matters in
Josh-
the UK. That's why I don't trust Eddie. That's what I'm
Josh-
saying. I'm telling you, that countryman stuff over there in the UK is big. Josh Kelly has a belt in the same division as Jerron
Here you
Boots
go.
is. I don't
Nah,
trust Eddie to even
England-
make that happen
England-
because if it does, Boots is gonna have to agree to go to the UK if he does make it happen.
For
He
what?
gonna
The
They're gonna
UK
let
for
Josh
what?
Kelly get beat down in the United States when everybody in England gonna be packing out the
For what? Like pennies
Yeah, you
pennies
don't
for
get
the
it.
dollar?
Okay.
Because UK is pennies of the dollar. Like
It don't
UK
matter
over there,
about
those seats are
With
pennies
Eddie,
for
it
the
ain't gonna
dollar.
matter about that. Fam.
Yeah, but
It's-
hold
it's-
on. Let me say this: the pound is actually valued higher than the dollar bill.
Yeah, 20
So
cents.
hold on. So 50 pounds would roughly be about $70-$80 here in the US. If you-
No, 56.20. That's what $50 is. 56.20.
50 pounds. 50
Yeah, 50
pounds.
pounds is $56.
All right, I'm gonna Google
Yeah.
it, but it's either because the new prime minister is talking about that Brexit shit
England
again.
sucks.
But
They don't have
prior
money.
to that, hold on. But prior to that, at the end of the day, Conor Ben can sell out. A old, pretty much we're looking at on the back end of his career, AJ can still sell out. Guess who else can still sell out? Chisora. So they have a different. All I'm saying is, in the UK,
It's
they have a
different.
much different approach to their champions than
Because
they do
it's a
regular
island.
players.
It's an island. That country is the size of freaking Massachusetts. So the state
It
of
ain't-
Massachusetts
and I-
is behind one
okay.
guy.
I hate to put it.
We
put
got
it like
50
this. I
states,
hate to put it
bigger
like
than,
this,
than
bro.
England.
But I ain't gonna
We
lie
got
to you.
48
But we-
states
No,
bigger than
I
England.
agree. I agree with what AC's saying, but the thing is, I think when it comes to those guys, I think the fans got behind them early in their career.
Yeah.
I don't think that the fans are behind Josh.
So you think?
No.
So can I ask this question? I just gotta ask it. So you think that Eddie being from England, because I don't trust Eddie for this reason. You think Eddie being from England is gonna let Josh Kelly come over here to the United States and give an impossible chance to get embarrassed while
He
his
did-
countrymen watch him get beat down? I'm telling you, Eddie ain't.
He did it
Eddie
with
don't
Dalton
wanna make
Smith.
that fight
I
happen.
think
He did it with Dalton
telling you.
Smith. He did it with Paro, Liam Faro when
It's
he
gonna
brought
be
to
bigger than
Puerto
money. I'm
Rico.
telling you, not my word.
But he put his guys to go to these
No.
places and face Matias, and Matias was the Boots Ennis in 140. He was
I-
beating everybody up, and he put his guys down, and his guys won.
Boots gonna have to go to
I
the UK.
agree.
No,
I agree
hell
with what
no.
you're saying,
No American
Paul.
needs
He
to
gonna
go
have
to
to.
the UK to make
I agree-
money.
I agree with
He gonna
Why?
have to.
I agree with
Why?
what you're saying, but the thing is, I think Eddie values his money more. I
No,
think
he
Hey.
don't.
he
No,
can make
nah,
more
that's why
money
y'all.
with
No.
Boots than he
No
can
way.
with Josh Kelly. He can make more money
Yeah.
with Boots.
Freaking
And
go
just to
a
be
tiny-ass
and
island.
Malazar, I'm looking at the graph right now. It just ticked up slightly, so it's back. It's at least 66.93. That's what 50 pounds is right now today. $66.93 as the fight is going to be. If it's that's today. So tomorrow it may start to tick back up based on what this new prime minister, because I just saw that on a political side before, and when they talk that crazy stuff, just like with the stock market here, you'll have a 2-day or 48-hour cycle, even sometimes a 72-hour cycle, where it looks like the trajectory is going down, something happens, and it bounces back up. So within that scope of what we're saying, we're still looking at a slightly more profitable fight in the UK than in America. Now, hold on. Let me say what I'm saying. In the terms of name recognition, only one of the two actually has name recognition here, and that is Jerron Boots Ennis. And I can totally agree on what you're saying, that the guy with the 2 belts should inherit home turf because he's coming with more hardware. And that alone right there warrants the argument to say, listen, I got more of the hardware. Because I have more of the hardware and I do have a bigger name recognition here, I would say, listen, the fight has to be in America. We could do it in Vegas. I don't know if it's that type of thing that brings out the celebrities to come to Philly for that fight.
I think so.
But at the end of the day, no matter where you put that fight in the UK, it does numbers. And that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think it'll do numbers, but
nothing is bigger than the United States of America. It's the reason the FIFA World Cup.
No way.
Here. Where? Tell me what country made more profit than the United States? What country? Which country?
Boo's having trouble even selling in like California.
After beating Sanders Sayas.
Like, you gotta think bigger than this.
Bro, like, Boots Ennis now got the Americans, the Black Americans, and got the Puerto Ricans.
I gotta ask you, you watch? You do. You watch UK boxing. It be some of the worst fighters I've ever seen in life. And I love it. But the stadium don't even care.
Yeah, and the camera shots are good. The camera shots and the stadiums are small. Okay, why the England, when they got here to the United States and they saw our stadiums, their mind blow out because they never saw something
How many Americans you think know Josh?
Hold on. Malazar. At the UK crowd, when Boots Ennis is back, it's not happening. They gonna sing they Sweet Caroline, and that's what's gonna make the fight. That's a culture. Name me a big UK fight where before the fighters come out, that song Sweet Caroline comes on, which is an American song. You feel what I'm saying? So they have a sub culture of the sport that we just can't match.
England, what the culture of England is the size of a city in the United States.
I don't think it really matters to Boots where is that, as long as he can get that title.
In
I don't
the
think
United
it really
States,
matters to him.
the Americans don't need to travel
outside
the
United
States
to
make money.
To Eddie, man. It don't.
I mean, to be honest,
this might be a topic for a whole other show, man.
Exactly. Listen. After winning the unified titles in Madison, in New York City, in the Barclays Center, everybody knows now who is Boots Ennis. He's the bag.
And I'm glad you said that.
He's the star. Like he defeated Sanders Sayas in a spectacular fashion. You know, so of course people gonna people already was how you say circulating around him. You know, like he was the son already in a little space. But now after that winning, the fan base is
I'm
bigger.
glad you said that, because if you put it in the UK with 50,000
fuck
people
the
in
UK, bro. Fuck the UK, broke ass.
Man, we wouldn't get nowhere with
the United States of America's capital is better. The UK sucks.
Hold up. What I'm saying
I got the solution
if
real
you
quick.
put him in the UK with 50,000, now he's not just a
thousand.
It's gonna be more than 50 there,
That's
bro.
a little island.
Let me finish what I'm saying.
It's gonna be like 80, 100
Not only is he a U.S. star in the sport of boxing, now he's a global star in the sport of boxing.
Already, when you make it in the United States, New York City, you become global. We're the United States of America. We're the son of the earth. We're the son.
Hold on.
You need to understand that it's no country better than us. It's no country bigger than us. It's no country stronger than us. It's no country that make more money and spend more money than us. No, it's no other place.
Man, and that's what I call patriotism, man.
Yeah, here's where we're gonna do this. Hey,
fuck
you guys tell me. You guys tell me this. Just like they have those political debates, Malazar is he got roots planted. He got the 4th of July out there. He got the grill. He got the hot dogs and burgers on the grill. Yo, he got his American flag, the whole 9 yards.
No, if you think
this is one of those debates. This is like, hold on.
Just think about this.
Be free. This is like one of those debates where you just got the one guy, and then everybody's gonna rotate, give it a 6-minute joint. This is your standpoint. This is my standpoint. We speak for a minute and a half.
But
you yada yada yada, and then we move on to each.
But see, when you think about it, the guys that we look at as superstars in the sport of boxing throughout the history of the sport of boxing, they all went across the pond and fought. And that's what made them global stars. That's what made them global stars. From Muhammad Ali to Mike Tyson to Floyd Mayweather to Earl Spence to anybody you name, they made them a global star by them going across seas and letting the other people see them fight, where they might not have watched them because they wasn't fighting over there. They might got other things going on.
UK gonna put more than 40K in that pimp.
No, they probably will. But what I'm saying,
that stadium hold 47,000 though. That stadium hold 47,000.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but they were not gonna pay $500 for a seat, for a ticket. They were not gonna even pay 200 pounds for a ticket.
You don't think they superstars gonna be there, fam?
And now they're
gonna
broke.
eat up a lot of that too.
Hold up,
they spent all their money in the FIFA Cup.
Devin Haney went over there for a Cambosis. They put 80,000 in the stands.
Yeah, in Australia.
In Australia,
yeah, because
the UK faithfully put 50,000 in the stand when they got fights over there. Faithfully.
AJ broke all of those records.
Because he said island.
I'm telling you, easy work.
AJ broke all of those records, Malazar. AJ was a dude that was
island.
50, 75,
yes,
80,000.
Oh my God, that's an ocean of people, man.
It's the island of the size of Massachusetts.
Yeah, but it's an island the size of Massachusetts that everybody, once there's a sport event like football or boxing,
we got 48 states bigger than England.
Understand what I'm saying to you. The 3 major sports in the UK are football, boxing, and cricket.
Facts.
Yeah, stupid cricket.
And cricket, bro. So at the end of the day, this is a great topic, bro. Yo, listen, we gotta revisit this and just have this like one of those micro debates.
I have a tough day today, and DJ just get me out of that bullshit that it's nothing personal with nobody.
Nah, you came in shooting and that's what made it excitement. Just let it, let that shit breathe. Let y'all go at it, bro. Yeah, you did your thing, Malazar. So
took a pause for the cause. That's a good subject. That's a good topic. We could talk about that, but I don't want people to get too caught up in the live and not get down to the business, because this is what everybody came to see, man. Let's get into this. We know the news that broke Devin Haney and Keyshawn Davis are into purse bid, and it sounds like Bill is solely focused on Keyshawn right now. No more Shakur. He didn't really want to entertain no more Shakur questions. He didn't want to entertain no Boots questions. But my thing is this: I heard a major spot today speaking to a lot of people in that area as if they all were casuals, and they were buying it up. They were actually talking about watching this purse bid as if it was like the NFL draft. And I was sitting there like, where am I at? That's why I said the casuals, they are celebrating that this thing is going to purse bid, right? And hardcores are actually shaking their head. Why? Because if something goes to purse bid, there's many indications, and we're going to break down what that means. But we got to get into the business behind the headlines, because purse bid is not necessarily a victory. It will be if we get the fight, right? But I was appalled. I was shocked at how many people saying, yeah, I'm actually going to watch it. It's going to be televised, and it's going to be this, and it's going to be that. And I'm like, well, we don't know. The bird, I always say a bird in the hand is two in the bush, and I always go back to the Rolly thing. Rolly was the bird in the hand. It made sense because it was unification. And he was the guy who beat the guy who you supposed to rematch. That's the bird in the hand. The two in the bush was Keyshawn and Shakur. So now, we done got it down to where it's like, if this slip away, right, who can we blame? So I wanted to open it up by saying that and get y'all thoughts on what y'all heard. And I got some other things behind this, but like that's the opening dialogue to this conversation. What y'all think about this thing going all the way to purse bid?
It's not surprising that it went to purse bid, because if you paid attention, you knew that it was going to go to purse bid, because Devin Haney is the champion, and right now he doesn't have the money behind him. He doesn't have the network behind him. So who was going to make the fight for Devin Haney versus Keyshawn? They was expecting Top Rank to come and make a deal. Top Rank don't have to make a deal. They could sit back and wait to see what you're going to do, because you're the champion. We're the mandatory to you. They ain't got to do anything. All they got to do is sit back and wait for you to send them an offer, and then they can counter offer, or they can accept the offer. So I wasn't surprised that it went to purse bid. I'm more so looking to see, outside of Top Rank, who else is going to try to bid on this fight. I don't think we're going to get a lot of bidders on this fight. I think it might be only Top Rank.
Well, my take is this.
Okay, go.
My take is this. I'm gonna go back to the Rolly situation, and this is the type of thing that what Devin is actually doing, or Bill, or whoever, the team Haney, whatever's going on. It begs to ask this question: will Debo pay for the fight? You wanted to flex on DHP Promotions. Right now that you're in a purse bid, will you cough up or find somebody to back you personally, lend you that money that you can pay for the fight itself? Show how Debo Dev really know how to deal with business. If you can't, then it exposes you on DHP Promotions what it really is, and then it makes that whole Rolly situation age like fine fucking wine. Because there were very few people out here trying to tell y'all, no, this nigga tried to do some bullshit. It's not a matter that Rolly sent them a contract that didn't have, his purse on it. Like, I can't send you a contract, and you're not gonna go on Ring Magazine and say things were good. It makes sense if the money's not right first. Because we have an example of when what's the name was sitting there on your belt when you were at 140, and that fight went in a purse bid, and you got pissed off and walked away. So at the end of the day, for me, this is going to reveal a hell of a lot. And for Devin Haney, fans that are heavy on him like that, y'all not gonna like the AC that you're gonna be dealing with. So yeah, it's just for me. I'm just gonna sit back, watch how all of this shit goes down, and I'm just waiting for this shoe to drop because it seems like a shoe is going to drop. Something seems really, really off, and that's where I'll land this.
I'm not gonna say something is off.
Go ahead.
I'm not gonna say something is off. I'm gonna say that Devin and Bill have had their egos inflated as well as their worth inflated by Turkey Al Sheikh, and they are out here trying to get more money than they're actually worth. You put them on the pound for pound scale, and they barely move the needle. I'm sorry, I don't think that Devin is. He's a good fighter. So let me rephrase that. He's a good boxer. I'm not gonna say he's a good fighter, because if he's in a boxing match, Devin can beat you. But if a fight break out, I think that's where Devin's gonna have a problem.
Okay.
The money that could have been made on this fight if they decided to put up some money. All that they needed to put up was, enough money to cover the basics. And if you put up enough money to cover the basics, you'll get your money back in the on the back end as the promoter. But when you want somebody else to write you a check, you dealing with somebody else's pockets. You need to be master of your own domain. And I think that's, part of the problem. Top Rank's gonna come out here and, the minimum bid is $200K. I don't think they're gonna go that low, but somewhere in the $3.5 to $5 million for that particular fight, I think is where Top Rank is going to go. They know they're going to take care of Keyshawn. He's got a minimum, and then whatever Keyshawn's minimum is, Top Rank's going to make sure he's covered.
Here's my only thing.
I don't even think like that though. Like,
hold on, let me just say this real quick. Dre, I just wanted to clear something up. The reason why I said I see a problem is because you're talking to a guy who's basically a huge Devin Haney fan. You feel what I'm saying? And lately, how he's been moving,
I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm not appreciating it. You feel what I'm saying? And I have to cook him being a fan. I'm not one of those weirdo dudes that's gonna try to cover or wipe his ass after he took a nasty shit. So that's not the makeup of who I am. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying I see a problem, because the problem is within your last two negotiations, you're at a situation to whereas you said X, but then all you had to do was put up the bread. Now here it is again, where you're in this situation. So what are you gonna do to maximize your profits if that's is what you're doing? You're a prize fighter now. You're only interested in the prize. The belts really don't matter like that. So that's the only reason why I'm saying it's a problem. But Swag, go ahead, bro. My bad.
It's cool. It's funny, like just hearing what Body said, I kind of keep it as like, phase one, phase two, things like that, and see like the more getting, into the ring, I try to listen to boxers, I listen to, people who do it, and, it's a sport, but it's also a way of life. So I be listening to them. I try not to get that far, but this right here, I straight up thought about business, and that's just something I'm good at. So I'm looking at it like, first thing I'm thinking about is, okay, how much was the pot? If you're getting 75-25 or 75-25, something like that, 75-25. And I'm thinking about, okay, how much of the pot is that? And then why is Devin getting 75? Why are you getting 25? My thing is that it makes sense. I mean, it makes sense on Keyshawn's part, because I don't think that number's high to what they offered for the fight. I just don't think it was high for what Devin liked. So he had to even split a portion of of an amount that he didn't like with Keyshawn. Keyshawn probably looked at that amount like, shit, this is all you getting? This all you getting, and then you gonna give me this? Nah. and he with Jay Prince. Like Jay Prince is looking at them contracts. Jay Prince gonna be there to tell him certain things, and see Devin kind of with no loyalty anywhere but himself. That this is when you need other shit to come into play, and I think Keyshawn stepping on his toes a little bit by letting him do it. So I think that whatever Jay Prince gonna do, I think Keyshawn betting on him to back him with this purse bid. I think Devin feel like Keyshawn gonna end up being in that knee on the other end, but we gonna see. But that's what the first thing I thought was how much was that pot? No cap.
That's the thing. The pot needs to be at X so that Devin gets what he wants.
Devin got to get Devin got to get what he worth on the market, and see that can be a humbling experience.
But that's the thing about going to purse bid. It's not
what happened with Stanionis.
It's not going to be what Devin wants, and that's the reason why. That's the reason why Top Rank and Keyshawn was just sitting back, because it's one or two things going to happen. You either going to fight him or you're going to drop the belt, and Keyshawn's going to fight for the belt either way. And they might fight for the belt with somebody where Top Rank can keep in house and Top Rank double up on the money, because right now Top Rank is only getting money from Keyshawn. But if Devin dropped that belt and let's say it's a Brian Norman versus Keyshawn, now Top Rank getting from both guys.
It was enough for Keyshawn to be like, get the fuck out of here. It was small enough for him to do that and be like,
end of the day,
I'm gonna risk it over here.
I don't think Keyshawn's gonna walk away, because
I don't think he ain't gonna walk away. He just had to step on his toe a little bit. Probably a shitty offer, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean,
it's going to be.
Keyshawn not gonna walk away, because if the purse bid is low, the chances are Devin is going to be the one that's going to walk away. Let's say nobody bids on this fight, and Top Rank is the only one that bids on this fight, and let's say the minimum bid is $200,000. Let's say Top Rank say $500,000, and nobody else bids on this fight. Top Rank won this fight for $500,000. That means Devin is going to fight Keyshawn for
Devin ain't gonna walk away from that.
For somewhere around 400,000. He like, man, nah.
Devin ain't gonna walk away. He ain't gonna walk away.
Nah, here's what I'm saying.
For a low number like that, Devin will walk away. I wouldn't blame him for dropping the belt, and it's an embarrassment. But
that'd be crazy.
But that's a Bob tactic. So that's why I said, he's probably gonna come in somewhere around $3 to $5 million for the whole fight.
And that's still going to be a humbling experience for Devin, based on
I don't think it's going to be that high.
What he got spoiled with, and the mere fact is that within that original negotiations, you're hearing this minus $6 million. That sounds like the money they offered him. That was part of the original deal to fight. So he was good with a minimum to fight a Rolly and I'm just speculating this based on just looking at the numbers and how they was presented and listening to what Bill was saying and saying, yeah, your original contract, that number was around $6 million, and that was the maximum / minimum that the B side could actually offer you. And I say maximum / minimum that's the minimum you were willing to take, but the maximum that the B side could muster up in this fight, who's backing them, and that would be PBC. You feel what I'm saying? So for me, at the end of the day, a minimum of around $6 million, I think that's going to be the sweet number, $5-6 million.
Man, you sound like Turkey still around.
I don't think the purse bid gonna go for more than 2.5.
I'm telling you, I think that's like Turkey still around. They see.
But I'm saying that I'm only saying what I'm saying because listen, if you still want to do a joint DHP, whatever. Within you having this ability of claiming that you're a promotional company, you feel what I'm saying? You can buy into this fight, even though it's at purse bid. Now it's your time to buy into this fight and really flex that. Yeah, I'm an independent. I make moves like this. If it's legally possible, investigate. Okay, Top Rank, you're gonna put in $3 million. All right, I'm gonna put in the other $3 million. Now this is what I want. Blah, blah, blah. This is the purse bid. Or I could even stretch it to $4 million. And now we're looking at a pot of $7 million. But Devin Haney does, I believe, if he's smart,
and he looks at the leverage that DHP promotion has, and you're supposed to be blah blah blah. You learned your lesson from the Rolly shit, and now you know how to piggyback off of somebody else and say, "Listen, I want to buy into the fight." Yeah, I'm taking owner's equity if the fight flops. I lose money just like everybody else. But then if the fight is a success or it's a break-even type of situation, that allows me a hell of a lot more leverage moving forward. This could be the test subject for him.
No, that's not going to happen. At a purse bid, that's not going to happen.
I ain't
I'm waiting. They're not doing that.
Way.
Why wouldn't it?
Because when you win a purse bid, let's say this fight goes for 2.5. Top Rank wins this fight for 2.5. Everything over 2.5 that fight generate goes to Top Rank. If you let somebody else buy in, now you got to break bread with that other entity that bought in. They ain't doing that.
Why not?
Because
if the fight is at jeopardy, and you really want your fighter, if you really want your fighter to whatever, then it's a matter of
they don't need to
happening. At the end of the day, if Devin, I feel like this. I'm only saying this, Freak. At the end of the day, if Devin Haney actually gets calls, or DHP Promotions, or whoever's in charge of that side of the business stuff, lawyers and accountants and all of that, contacts the people at Top Rank and we can negotiate this purse bid type thing, why not set that precedence?
Because they don't need to, because they trying to make the most money off of their investment. If they get the fight for 2.5 and this fight actually happens, everything over 2.5 is profit for them. But if let's say they get the fight for they bid 2.5 and DHP bid 2.5 with them and goes in with them, they get the fight for $5 million. Well, you gotta break bread and do the 75-25 for Devin Haney and Keyshawn Davis. And then whatever you make over, you got to split that 50-50 with Devin Haney. They like, no, why would I?
Come on, right? It's easy work.
Hold on, let's look at it. All right, D-Free, let's look at it like this. It's still within the same vein we're talking. I'm not moving the goalposts or anything, but we're talking about, all right, you get this fight for this type of money. You still have to have your venue. You still have to have security. You still have to have medical. You still have to produce the insurance and all of that other stuff. Now, Devin Haney's name and precursor to Keyshawn Davis, basically saying this. Both of these guys have established names. For this established name's sake, we need a venue that can support these two established names. When you have that type of dynamic to say, all right, we got this fight, we're gonna pay the fighters X, Y, and Z, but now where are we gonna host this? Because if I'm gonna maximize my money, I'm not looking for the biggest venue anymore. You feel what I'm saying? In the first place, I was looking for the bigger venue because then I could bring more people in to buy.
But based off of what you said, they can still do all of that, and they don't have to pay the fighters as much money. They can still do everything you said. They just don't got to pay the fighter as much money because the purse bid is what the fighters are going to get.
Yes, I get that.
But what I'm saying is, if you put it in to $5 million, they both sides put in 2.5, $5 million. Devin Haney's coming out on top because not only did he put in half to get the $5 million, so he's getting 75% of that, but now he gets 50% of everything that fight generates because I put in half for you to win this first bid, so I want 50%.
Yo, let me say this though. Let me say this real quick. What I believe is that they're playing chicken. Like I think AC talked about this the other day. DHP and the businessman and Jay Prince, they playing chicken, and this is why the Shakur, they was going for the Shakur because they know, okay, cool, people gonna put the money up because Bill always talking about guaranteed. If they low bid this first bid, Devin dropping that strap. He is not gonna fight Keyshawn for peanuts. And look, Keyshawn them know that more than likely if the offer is gonna be that low, Keyshawn know that, hey, he gonna drop that strap and I'm gonna get that strap. So they playing chicken, and I think Jay Prince he lined it up like this. This is
And
why.
I
This
said
is
that's
why
the
it
first
wasn't.
beginning.
Absolutely he did. Absolutely.
But this is why we were saying, this is why we were discussing way back, Body, that the person who has all the advantages in this situation, because we got to look at it. What the fuck did Keyshawn do to become number one? You feel what I'm saying, for Devin Haney's belt over everybody else? And that day we covered that on that live. I listed or shouted out all the names that are right up under Keyshawn that actually deserve that fight. You feel what I'm saying? So Keyshawn got to
I'll
jump
tell you
over.
how that happened.
Keyshawn got to jump over. He got to jump over those names because Jay Prince made the deal, contacted the WBO. You feel what I'm saying? Put that bread up to get Keyshawn at that number one spot. You bought into that. That's what the same thing when me and Malazar was talking about, and I said they collect this certain part of a 501c6 that allows them to collect money off of lobbying. And I said to myself, why would one entity have two different tax brackets? You feel what I'm saying? When you understand that all I got to do is pick up a phone, ask you what's the fee to get my guy at the number one or top 3 or top 5. Then I pay that fee. That's a lobby. That's how lobbies work. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? So with that being said, all I'm saying is, for me and Body was saying, yeah, right now I'm nervous for Devin. I was saying that. I was saying I'm nervous for Devin Haney because Jay Prince and them could play the game that forces Devin Haney to drop his strap. And guess what? Devin Haney is not a stranger to dropping straps. You feel what I'm saying? So I said, if you drop those straps and don't use your DHP leverage to keep your strap and defend your title, you feel what I'm saying? Or for a guy I think you can outbox and expose, then this is why I said I'm going to cook you, and other Devin Haney fans are not gonna like the shit that I gotta say. Because from my perspective, being a fan of yours, this is some bullshit. And you backed yourself into this corner, just like I did the live and said, you young niggas don't know how to clean your house. You keep mopping yourself into the corner. You happy you got the music going, everything's popping, and you just mopping away, and then you realize, oh shit, I done mopped myself into this corner. Now I gotta walk over all the shit that I just cleaned up. And that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. Go ahead, bro.
If DHP puts up $5 million, I think they're almost guaranteed to win the purse bid. Okay, they could win their own purse bid if they put up enough money, and I think $5 million would be enough to win that purse bid. Now, if they're willing to put that money up, that guarantees the fight. Devin don't have to drop the belt. Devin gets the 75% of the purse of the $5 million, and then after everything is said and done, as the lead promoter for that particular fight, he gets 50% of the generated revenue.
Big Dre. Big Dre. What did you say?
Yeah.
You started off saying I don't think that they ain't gonna put that. They would if they wouldn't put up 6 with Rody, which we know. I don't care what you say. The consensus is that fight was gonna sell. People want to know. They don't know what's gonna happen in that fight. They think a lot of Haney fans believe he's gonna outbox Rody, but he got the chance of getting that chin tap. If he wouldn't put up 6 for Rody, I don't got him putting up 5 for Keyshawn, who brings nothing to the table. Like this is his true business practice.
Keyshawn brings excitement. Keyshawn brings excitement.
So do Rody.
But look, this the thing.
No, if you look at the numbers,
Keyshawn is high risk, low reward. He don't even got a strap. I don't got them putting up no $5 million, bro.
But the thing is DHP even a licensed promoter in the WBO? Because if they're not a licensed promoter in the WBO, they can't bid on the fight anyway.
Well, that's the other thing, you know.
Devin need to negotiate on what Keyshawn wants.
Well, I think I think that maybe we need to get a licensed promoter like GTD to put up $6 million.
So we can't talk about maybe because we're in the moment.
So that Devin has to fight on that logo. Let's be petty about this.
That shit ain't going.
Let's be
down,
petty
man.
about this. Let GTD Promotions put up $6 million for the purse bid, and make Devin fight on that logo.
But
is this a big fight though, y'all? Is this a big fight?
It is a big fight. They can put that fight. They can put that fight anywhere.
It's not a big fight. It's not a big fight. It's not a big fight. It's a good fight, but it's not a big fight.
Because the women ain't gonna be hot. Like the dudes ain't gonna be fresh to death. You know what I'm talking about? Like when you one of them fights, man, everybody get live for it. Like ain't nobody coming out for Keyshawn and Devin like that.
I think
the date is important.
I think Shakur versus Theo is a bigger fight than this. I think Shakur versus Theo is a bigger fight than this. So
kind of the same.
Yeah, Shakur. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I see kind of the same.
They did 3.7 at the live gate. I don't think Devin and Keyshawn is doing more than 3.7 at the live gate.
I'm going to say it like this. I'm going to say it like this. If we look at the dynamic of does Devin Haney sell his fights lately? Yes, he's been selling his fights.
No, he's been on the undercard.
Has Keyshawn been selling his fights? Yes, Keyshawn can sell fights.
One.
At the end of the day,
he sold out the North Scope 3 times.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, do I think this fight sells? Yeah, if it's
with a good
if it's pretty much local, if it's pretty much
would y'all buy it on
pay-per-view?
You
put it like this.
Come on,
put that fight
on pay-per-view.
Under $40, yes.
You say under 40. You might as well get the zone.
Well, if Beterbiev and Bivol is in the court, maybe I pay the pay-per-view. Beterbiev, Bivol, Devin Haney, Keyshawn in the same court. Yeah.
Then it ain't a big fight then.
We can't say what Devin has been doing lately because he hasn't been a main event lately. He's been a co-main. So we don't know what Devin is going to do at a live gate because he hasn't done one in about 2 years. He hasn't done a live gate since the Ryan and Devin. That was the last main event he did was him and Ryan.
I think.
Well, he didn't make 90% at home and open, so.
Yeah, I don't want to be a hater like that, but I think in California, like Devin in California over there, yes, he can do his number, and with
Keyshawn in Virginia.
Yeah, so
that's why I said it's got to be local. If you the closest place that's neutral for both of them, and it has a boxing history, is y'all do that shit in Atlantic City, New Jersey.
That's like in New Jersey.
Yeah. That's like a neutral ground.
I don't know if I would rather see it in Texas.
No, you can't. You put that in Atlantic City, New Jersey. You asking for it to flop. You asking for it?
Yes.
Why? Because
time Atlantic City. I know I miss Atlantic City too. But Vegas sounds better.
Sell that shit in Vegas. My other option was I was going to say Barclay.
They could put it. They ain't even got to put it in Vegas. They could put it in LA.
We're in Vegas though.
Yeah, Oakland from Vegas is not that far.
We're at in Vegas. Vegas for Devin versus Keyshawn? No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Keyshawn already fought in Vegas already. He fought in Vegas already in
but that was
Teofimo undercard back
then.
then.
That's a Tio undercard, bro.
But and he got a bigger name now.
Keyshawn versus Devin in Vegas.
No, it's not a Vegas.
I'm not talking about T-Mobile Arena. I'm not talking about the T-Mobile Arena or the Dome and stuff like that.
What are you talking about?
It's not a Vegas
in a casino.
That's what I'm saying. It's not a big.
Yeah, but then the price point of the tickets because it's limited seating.
Yeah, that's not a Vegas fight because when you put it at the casino, that they put it at the casino because they're gonna up the price.
Because it's gonna come with package.
You can flip it. You can even flip it and say, okay, it's Devin versus Shakur, a big fight. Everybody gonna be like, hell yeah. You think they're gonna have problems with venues? No. Not like that.
No, but that's a fight they can put in Houston.
But that's what I'm saying. Devin and
Keyshawn
ain't that. It just ain't that. That's just
Man, that's what I'm telling y'all, man.
Well, yeah. It's not like that, yes, but they can sell too. And if you put a good undercore, like they did with Mario Barrios and Ryan Garcia, the undercore was a heavy one. You see how that card sold, you know. So you need to do a good heavy undercore, so for be able to sell Keyshawn and Haney in a big venue. But you need a heavy undercard. You cannot come with a full leg undercard.
Yeah, that undercard and co-main have to, you know, that's got to be on some shit. And then
I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, if they really want this fight to sell, they could put that fight right there at Maryland Live or MGM at the National Harbor.
Come on now.
Yeah, MGM is good. MGM, yeah.
Yeah, but
Don't wait, man. Don't wait, man.
MGM holds less than the Hulu Theater, man. Come on.
The MGM Grand hold like 4,500. They only hold like 4,500.
That's what I'm saying. But it's gonna look packed.
You get 3,600 in live, so yeah, we can do that in live.
It's gonna sell out. It's gonna sell out.
It'll sell out in live.
They was not gonna lie. It was a sellout.
I work right by live. That's where my warehouse is. I literally can walk the live when I go.
Oh yeah, I mean, man, you ran into each other a few times at Food Line. Yeah.
Oh well, hell.
That's dope, man. Where y'all from?
I'm surprised I ain't running into you guys, man. I do a lot of stuff down
Maryland.
Maryland. No, but the guy from Texas,
yeah, I'm in Glen Burnie right now.
Texas Heat.
Love from DFW.
The Texas Heat is nothing like that. I work in Dallas in the Mattel store. In winter, we work from 6 to 3, 6 to 2. In summer, they put us to work at 4:30 to unload the trucks, and by noon you have to be out of that trailer. They don't imagine in that heat. Like the trailers get so hot. No, bro. Texas heat is another thing. No, I used to work overnight. Fuck that.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, I really don't think that this fight is going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to get a low purse bid offer or purse bid deal, and Devin is going to drop the belt, and then he's probably going to try to find over there to
keep dropping belts and walking away fights like that, because this is damaging his credibility, his fans. He keep losing more fans like that. AC, look at AC right now. He was a big fan. Now he's like, yo, motherfucker, what the fuck, you know?
You do what D Free just said. It's a wrap. You do what D Free and Body and y'all saying. For me, it's a wrap with Mr. Devin Haney, because at the end of the day, bro, you should have just fought Rolly. You said it made sense. You had a good deal on the table. All you had to do was get across the line. That was a fight that people wanted to see. You said yourself that fight made sense. If Ryan's playing games, why not beat the guy who last beat Ryan? And then you in this bullshit with Keyshawn. There is no way, as a boxing fan who just says, you know what, I love the sport. Fuck you, I love the sport. I can condone what you're doing, and then really try to make say nah, he gonna do this, he gonna do that. Listen, you basically got an option. If you don't take that option that's out there and try to save your own fight, because you walked away from putting up your own money when you tried to play games with PBC, and PBC said, oh, listen, all right, you think you're a big promoter now? You think you have that level of insurance and everything else? All right, so now it's gonna cost you $6 million. No, we're not gonna fight Rolly then. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Haney. You got laughed out of the fucking office, bro. And now you're in the same type of situation, and what's gonna happen with you, my guy?
It's gonna be a domino effect on him. You see, like
but this is why I asked y'all. It was a trap. I said that this is a big fight. This is why I asked, because I needed to get into this before everybody start going their separate ways. You know what I'm saying? And the standard is big fights are usually negotiated. Like if it's a big fight, it don't get this far, right? The purse bid is a business mechanism. It's not a trophy. Like I was hearing earlier, like, oh yeah, we're gonna watch this. It's gonna be televised. Like people was actually really acting like they was getting ready to watch the NFL draft. I'm like, this shit is not something to be celebrated, y'all. A victory is when the fight gets made and the fans win. And the fans were celebrating. We went to purse bid. This proves a big fight. They're ducking. Finally, let's let the fight happen. But the promoters see cause versus reward, network risk, investor return, negotiating leverage, many variables at play. The market, the demand, fans drive value, networks, they control exposure. With Devin being free agent, you know what I'm saying? He mopped himself into a corner, like AC said. Investors, they expect a return, not a storyline. We, like boxing fans, we be wanting the storyline. The investors, they be wanting the return. The leverage, purse bids are a negotiating tool. This is really supposed to be a negotiating tool. But the history, purse bids have existed for decades. And what it does, mandatory defenses created them to protect fighters, titles, and fairness. They are not proof of blockbuster demand. Super fights. Ali negotiated, Tyson negotiated, Floyd negotiated, Pacquiao negotiated, Canelo negotiated. The biggest fights were made at the table. If this was a big fight, it would have been made at the table. Let me see. What we got here?
It's hard to make a fight at the table when you go in there with an inflated
Market
version of your
value.
self-worth.
Yeah, your market
Right.
value is inflated. Yeah.
Yo, because
When-
look,
Right.
this Sanders Sayas Boots Ennis fight was in the middle of the FIFA World Cup. ¿Tú me entiendes? That people already spending money and it's the FIFA over there going wild. Was in the peak of the FIFA. What they did, they brought this guy Whitaker, Ben Whitaker. Was a lot of British already in New York for the British team, so they cash in that money. But it's been smart, you know, and how you move. You sell your fight, the date, everything. But because you're a good boxer, your dad know how to talk okay in YouTube, doesn't mean you're a reader promoter that know all about all this shit. You know, like Roger said, it's a lot of variables.
Yeah.
Let me break this down real quick. I got a question for D Free real quick. I'm on number 7 if y'all tracking. That's how fast I was going through it. Is the market strong with the networks paid premium price? Is the purse bid? So we already seen Top Rank. If they didn't come to nothing and Top Rank ain't say like it was no whatever. Devin is a free agent pretty much, even though this is the question for me. One of them is he really still signed to Turkey, or is he really a free agent and that's why that's a snafu? That's part of the question. But listen to this. Is the purse bid about demand or negotiating power? This the last one. What happens after the 20-day clock? So what's gonna happen, D Free? Salute to Thomas Hill. D Free, what's gonna happen after the 20-day clock?
After the 20-day clock is going to be is ordered to a purse bid, which means there's no more negotiating. You're going to a purse bid. Now they can pull out of the purse bid if they reach an agreement. If both sides reach an agreement, they say, okay, you know what, we don't want to go to purse bid. We're just gonna go ahead and do the fight, like similar to what we saw with Shakur versus Frank Martin. They pulled out of the purse bid because they came to an agreement. But then Frank Martin said, hold up, the money was you get more than what you told me what the money was. So they can pull out of the purse bid, but right now the purse bid been ordered, so there's no more negotiating. They're going to go to a purse bid and see what the purse bid goes for. And when it comes to that, you're at the hands of the promoters. You like, okay, how much money am I going to get? That's why it's never good to go to a purse bid, because the chances are you're going to get much less than what you was originally offered, because now they don't have to give you your face value. They can give you whatever they negotiated the purse bid for, or whatever they bid on the purse bid. They want it for 2.5, but you was really making $3 or $4 million per fight. Now all they got to do is give you 1 point something.
Yeah.
How many days now? How many days? My bad, AC. This is my follow up, and you can have it. How many days now do they got?
Now they got until Monday. Monday is going to be the actual first bid. Like today was the deadline. If you didn't get an order, if you didn't come to agreement by today, I'm sorry, by Monday, which was yesterday. If you didn't
Look.
come to agreement by Monday, then you were ordered a purse bid. Now they got it till next Monday. The next Monday is the actual purse bid at 9:00 a.m. So
They don't like to spend more than $2 million in a purse bid. How this guy Fresh Productions won the bids over Matias over Eddie Hearn with $2 million, because when they go to a purse bid, they don't like to is to spend less money, not to spend more. Like in the deal, they can make big money. We're gonna deal with the pay-per-views. We're gonna deal with the ticket. Now in the purse bid, it's the purse bid, and that's it. That's the bag.
Yeah.
It's cheaper for the promoters win the fight in the purse bid, because now I don't have to share with you nothing else, just the purse bid.
Well, then that.
So they playing ball right now. Then I mean, like as far as like, okay, we go to purse. I mean, what D Free said, they get that whole week. So this is when it's going. Them business tactics going to be something to see. If they smart, man, they get on social media and start filming this. If they could.
Yeah, because now it's up to Devin Haney to say, okay, look, we're going to give you a little bit more, or we're going to take the offer that you got on the table. I don't know if Top Rank gave him an offer. I don't know if Devin Haney put up an offer. All I know is I haven't seen Keyshawn Davis talk about it. I heard that Devin and them say, oh, we're waiting on Keyshawn Davis or whatever, but I haven't heard Keyshawn Davis talk about it. And it looks like Keyshawn Davis and his team is just sitting back waiting to the person.
Yeah, they got, hey, listen, they got all the leverage right now, because at the end of the day, it's best for them at this stage. If we're taking everything into account and just keeping our feelings out of it and who our favorite fighter is or whatever, whether you're a Keyshawn or Devin Haney guy, the facts come down to this. Keyshawn is in a position of all he has to do is not say anything and just sit back and watch. Keyshawn is actually sitting there with his popcorn, just looking at Devin Haney and them squirm. I don't have to say anything to make you squirm. I don't have to put any sort of pressure on you. The pressures and everything falls on you. If this was the fight that you were saying the media was saying was building and stuff like that, Bill was saying when he was in New York, where's Keyshawn and all of this other stuff, then at the end of the day, the fight would have been made at the table. When everybody was there, boom, boom, boom. It's one of those fights that we just heard about. It's one of those things that go down to whereas, your shit with the guy that you fought, I don't remember his name, that he fought in Manhattan. We didn't hear about that. Keyshawn fighting Jermaine what's the name? We didn't hear about that. Those fights were just made. So if this fight is what it is, then we don't, all of this and purse bid and stuff like that, you guys came into it with the wrong game plan. Y'all was playing games. Y'all was playing chicken with your core. The core jumped ship and you were like, oh, shit. This don't work out in our favor.
But see, this is what happened when you kept claiming that you were your own boss. You make all of the deals. Now it's time to show that you're your own boss.
These boxing purse bids are not like you do with the comics or value things, that the purse bid two people go on fighting for that bid. No, it's not like that. This is like it's bad when a boxing like go to a purse bid. It's really bad. It's not like people gonna fight for your core, like going crazy. Hey, 5 million. No, I'm gonna go 7 million for Devin Haney. No, they're not gonna go fighting for you. Instead, they're gonna go lower and lower. Who get it cheaper?
But I ain't gonna lie to you. That's why I said earlier, Keyshawn looked at that deal and said it was a shitty deal.
Yeah,
like for real. Like
how
it's
many
not
guys?
Like I bet he looked at Devin like, this it.
But is it this the other question, y'all? Is it one of them blind purse bids to where you don't know?
I think that's what they originally said. I thought it was.
I think they're banking on turkey.
But I'm saying,
it's the WBO stated yesterday afternoon that it's all bids must be submitted by 9 a.m. on Monday. So that usually means it's a blind purse bid.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody other than because they all
No, they said it's going to be live. It's going to be live on YouTube.
Yeah,
It's
but
gonna
I
be
don't see
live?
more than
Yeah,
two
Oh, I can say
people.
no, it's not blind then. It's not. I
It's
mean,
not,
okay.
it's not a blind person, but it's going to be live on YouTube. And I understand why people are intrigued to see it, because this will be the first time that you actually see how a purse bid is handled. Because
Yeah.
we never seen that before. We always heard, oh, this promotion company won the purse bid. This will actually be a time where the fans, the casuals, people that's not behind the scenes can actually see how it goes to be a purse bid, how things are handled, how a purse bid is won. So it's actually educational.
That's
Even though
smart.
it's not something to praise, it's still educational for a lot of the people to see how the business is handled behind the scenes that we normally don't get a chance to see.
Yeah.
That's
For
actually
a lot of
smart.
people who like that stuff, yeah, it's cool. But it's not gonna be like people think, like people gonna be fighting to get the higher bid. No, this month it's not. You know, you will see
A bunch of envelopes with a number in it.
Yeah, but let them experience it, man. Let them
You know what I'm
and
saying?
it's cool.
But you know, the WBO set the rules, and the rules state that the purse bid is an automatic split of 75-25. The minimum bid is $200,000, up
So
to whatever. So
Yeah.
literally, some top ranking can walk in there and say, "I bid 200,000," and if nobody else bids, they win it for 200 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the minimum. That's the minimum starting bid is 200,000.
Unless
Yeah,
your
but,
promoter, want you this real bad, and the other promoter, like Don King and Bob Arum fighting for Macho Camacho and Julio Cesar Chavez. Who gonna get the bid? No, it's not gonna be like that. It's not gonna.
See, basically, what they gonna show everybody, a purse bid is just a boxing term for an auction. The
Yes.
fight is up for
Yep.
auction right now.
Yes,
Yep.
auction. That was the word I was looking
What it
You
is.
for.
know what I'm
Auction.
That's what it
saying?
is.
Yeah, but who's going to bid on it other than
So
top
at
rank?
the end of the
That's-
day, if you
because
look
they're
at it
all on the
from,
zone.
at the end of
all-
the day, if you look at it from that perspective, you're saying to yourself, okay, we're talking about Devo Dev and Keyshawn the businessman, or the amazing fight being auctioned right now. They're saying, okay, since these two stupid motherfuckers couldn't get this shit together at the table, hey, listen, anybody want to buy this fight? Because the shit is for sale right now. Because we tried to work with these dudes. They're not smart enough to get it together. You feel what I'm saying? They don't
The
understand
sales pitch is
business.
gonna be a little bit more
So
professional.
now here it is. We're gonna put it on the shelf. We're gonna package this shit and tell you, listen,
Starting 200K.
the starting number is this. The starting number is $200,000. All bids start at $200,000.
And that's
205, 25, 25, right?
But
It'd
yeah,
be
but
funny
that-
if
that's the thing.
some dude standing up there like that.
I think that's the thing. It might not even be a promotional company that show up. It might just be the zone. They say, look, all of y'all fight on our network anyway. We're gonna go up here and win this purse bid. It might just be the zone that puts on the that bids on the purse bid.
I don't think that's
To try to
something
save
good
it,
for
to
money.
try to save the fight. Because at the end of the day,
I wouldn't say save
if a
the fight.
low number, let's just try to put ourselves in the psyche of the casual fan to say, all right, the fight is a low number. That means nobody is interested in it. Does it mean it's worth our time to watch it?
Yes, it means when a purse bid is sold at a low price, that means that the promotional company is not willing to pay top dollar, but they still want the fight because they're trying to pay at
You're
the least amount of money.
explaining.
It's almost like getting sloppy seconds.
You're
They're trying to pay
explaining the
you.
situation, and I'm just
No, but see,
asking the question
it's just
from
like-
a casual's perspective. Are they going to look at the fight now? If it's
No,
a low number involved in it, and they're not looking at what we know and stuff like that,
No, because
are they
the
going to look
casual-
at it and say, "Oh, don't nobody want to watch it because the fight sold for so little for so
No,
money"?
the casuals don't know too much about purse bids. They don't know what a purse
They
bid
don't
is.
even know that. Yeah.
For a true casual,
Yeah.
they don't know what a purse bid is about. They just know, okay, this promotional company won
But
the
they're
purse
gonna
bid.
learn it
They don't really know what it's about.
by your
They
own
don't
admission.
care.
They're gonna
They don't
learn
care
it
about that. They don't
Well,
care
a
about that.
casual is not a casual. Now,
on
we talking about-
YouTube. YouTube is gonna be the house of
But hold up.
Go
I
ahead, go
watch
ahead, my bad.
football,
My
but
bad.
I don't watch
Hold up,
when the
AC.
guys are come out from high school and they go to the different teams.
But see, this
you
is
know,
the
I don't
thing.
watch the draft.
But see,
I
this
don't
is the
care
thing.
about the
Yes,
draft.
they
I just
might
watch the football game.
no, but even though you might watch it, you still might not know what a purse bid is for the
That's
fight.
what I'm saying. I don't know what is the draft, and I just trying to you know, you're talking boxing. I'm how you say compare it to football. Like I'm a casual in football in NFL. So I don't watch the draft. I don't give a damn what college they came from. I just it's Thanksgiving. It's a football game. I'm gonna watch it. You feel me? That's how I am in the casual in the football.
For a casual, for a boxing fan, period. It ain't even got to be a casual. It's just somebody that likes boxing. If you want to see a fight, you want to see a fight. You don't care how much money they're making. You want to see the fight. You don't care about the money. You ain't getting none of it. Those are the only ones that care about that is the fans that's diehard fans of the fighter. They care about how much money the fighter is getting. But
Okay, I get your argument.
Let me ask a question real quick. Let's just say, because I'm leaning towards the fact that they playing chicken, that we're not gonna see it, and I'm an optimist, but I'm just like, I hope we get to see it, but I don't think so. Now, if this thing go to purse bid and they do that low ball thing and nobody really bids like no real money, because I would say the minimum would probably be 4 million, and Devin might get in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, man, it might have to be a little bit more, but if it's not at least 4 million, I don't think Devin's taking the fight. The question is, do both of their stocks take a hit because of this? And now Keyshawn's going to inherit a belt, right? But will both of their stocks take a hit because nobody really wanted to? Like, first of all, y'all ain't negotiate. Y'all didn't get the fight. It went to purse bid, and because we know what happened with Sandor Martin. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Keyshawn getting more of a fan than Sandor Martin. But is their stocks going to take a hit?
You just asked the proper question. I phrased it wrong. That's kind of what I meant, but you put it in the right context. Does their stop? Yeah.
I don't think both of them take a hit because it's not on the mandatory to make the fight. It's on the champion to make the fight. He's the mandatory.
Therefore, Devin takes a hit.
Both of them take a hit. Both of them take a hit.
Devin takes a hit. I don't think Keyshawn takes a hit.
Because already we have this guy.
Both of them gonna take a hit, man.
Ronnie Romero. You know, we
why should Keyshawn take a hit for this?
Now we got this stuff.
I'll tell you why. Keyshawn look like he over. Like this is what's gonna happen if it do drop. Devin already got that thing that going on with Rolly. Because I always say this. They have a business model that's going to price them out. I said that back when Turkey was kind of stepping in and out. So this is something I've just spoken on just outside this panel. And then here we are. The thing is that if Devin's going to look like he having a problem with paying his fighters without Turkey having that backing behind him. So he take a hit. He do. In business, he does.
I'm going to look at it.
On the other end, hold on. Let me land. And then on the other side with Keyshawn going to look like it's a tag team thing again. You got, and then Jay Prince and Keyshawn and Shakur working the play. It's gonna take a hit because it's gonna look like this tag team shit in boxing going on that everybody hate. So if you ask me if they gonna take a hit if the fight fails, absolutely. Their reputation is gonna take a hit.
I think you're looking at it from a diehard boxing fan, but if you're looking at it from if you look at it from a casual fan, I don't think Keyshawn takes a hit. I think Devin takes a hit because Keyshawn is going to be looked at as the guy that made Devin drop his belt. That's what he's going to be looking at.
I get what you're saying.
Keyshawn, remember, Haney have already Ronnie Romero.
Think like a casual.
I get what he's saying.
No,
you're going to start to think like a casual defense.
No. But hey, Haney already have Rory Romero. He dropped from that fight. Everybody know, even the casuals know that. So now this stuff go for to a purse bid, and he don't go for this fight. Already the casuals gonna be like, yo, these motherfuckers don't want to fight with nobody. You know, that's why he's gonna get a hit. Keyshawn's gonna get a hit.
From casuals, That's hard to even answer.
Who going to take a hit, Big Dre?
Well, Devin's gonna take the hit. Keyshawn won't take the hit because Keyshawn been yelling, "Let's fight, let's fight, let's fight, let's fight," the whole time. Okay, so the whole negotiation period, as soon as the day that the WBC ordered this fight, Keyshawn said, "Let's fight." He been doing videos. He been going online. He been shouting, "Let's fight, let's fight, let's fight." And because he's been doing that and being visual and being vocal, he can't take a hit for it because he wants to fight. He is, whether or not he gets it, it's not on him. It's not on his corner. How'd he say it? I announced that I was going to 147. I woke up the next morning, I'm number one in the mandatory. Hey, I'm ready for the fight. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, Dev. Let's get it cracking. That's what Keyshawn said. There's no way for him to take a hit because this is not his fault. He was put in this position. He was put in this position, and he has said that I want to fight. I want to fight. I want to fight. It's hard to take a hit when you in that position.
I would also, I'm gonna piggyback off of what you're saying, in the fact that Keyshawn, when he was saying he was going to 47, in between there, he was like, "Yeah, I'm going to 47, and I'm supposed to be facing the champion." You feel what I'm saying? Then if we're following the timeline, then he wakes up and says, "Yeah, I seen rankings and stuff like that." Yeah, just from the debate me and Malazar had, we know, between at least me and him, we know that that had to be announced. He got that phone call. It's not you woke up and just saw it. You were notified that these changes are gonna happen. You feel what I'm saying? So that
he said he woke up and next thing he know what it was.
Yeah, that's you capping your ass off right there, because that's not.
But it's not how it happened, but it's the way he put it.
Yeah,
okay?
exactly.
So he makes his announcement that he's going to 147 on Friday, and Monday morning he wake up.
Yeah, exactly.
The new set of rankings came out over the weekend, and he's number one.
Yeah, exactly.
And the same shit that happened in 140 when he moved from 135 to 140 after he
crashed out,
didn't do the weight because he's lazy, and doesn't matter if he go to 47. He's lazy. He's not responsible. He's gonna miss the weight. He's not missing the weight because he cannot do the weight. He's missing the weight because he's irresponsible and he don't take the proper precaution the night before or whatever. He don't care. He has, and that's gonna take him and gonna cost him.
But just to land my plane real quick, what I'm saying is basically this. Does Keyshawn take a hit? No, but to a diehard fan, we know how you got it in the context of whatever. If you're elevated to that situation and you try to become a diva after the elevation, okay, whatever. But then it comes down to the fact of, that there was a Brian Norman Jr. over there. Why didn't you petition knowing that this bullshit was happening? Why didn't you petition to fight Brian Norman Jr. and knowing what he recently said about you? So there is going to be those little asterisks and contacts, at least for a boxing fan like myself. You feel what I'm saying? To where I'm going to put that out there. Devin Haney, you're going to get demolished.
Yeah, but let me give you some context on that. Yeah, there was a Brian Norman out there, but Brian just lost to Devin. Yeah. Brian don't have a strap. Brian is out there. He done been knocked down 3 or 4 pigs, and you make an announcement and you're number one. Yeah, there were more people who should have been in line for that spot, but you in it now. And once he was put in it, he made the best of it. He starts shouting from the rooftops, "Let's fight." And when you start shouting from the rooftops and doing these videos, looking for Debo, man,
Go and capture
You
another
know,
title. Go and capture another title.
But
You know, Ryan
Keyshawn
is
doesn't
out
have
there.
a
I don't
belt
know.
either. Keyshawn doesn't have a belt either.
Yeah,
you're
I don't
right,
know.
So
But
at the end of the
he
day,
was
Brian
put in the
Norman
number one
and
spot.
Keyshawn Davis fight.
yeah, and
I
people are
actually
already
think,
mad
and
with
me and
Haney
Body
for
talked
that.
about this. It might sell or might gain more interest than Devin Haney versus Keyshawn.
Yeah, oh,
Because
yeah,
at the
Yeah,
end
they
of the
could-
day, there's always the possibility of the stoppage when it comes down to both of these guys. If Keyshawn hurts Brian Norman Jr., he's gonna do his best to stop him. If Brian
I
Norman
really
Jr.
wanted. I really wanted to see that.
yeah,
but yeah,
if Brian
but see,
Norman
that's
hurts
what I'm
Keyshawn,
saying.
I want to see that
If
one. for
Devin
real.
Haney drop out of the bed, people already mad with him because Keyshawn is not in 140, and he saw him out and he saw him dreams to come and fight in 47 with him for the title. So he jumped another division. So now if he dropped from that fight to do whatever, the fan base is gonna be real mad at him. I think he's gonna get a big hit if he drop out of the fight.
Melazar, this is what I think. This is what I think, Melazar. I think that Keyshawn is in the catbird seat right now, right? And so he's not gonna take a hit. The only way he'll really take a hit is like what AC said. If he act like a diva once he get that strap, which I mean, it's a trend where fighters are doing that.
That's what he's gonna do.
Y'all don't think he acting like a little bit of a diva by going to purse bid right now?
Who?
I don't think. I think that might be out of his control. I think that might be out of his control.
Yeah, I don't blame him for the purse bid.
About what it looks like, from what it looks like. I'm just asking, from what it looks like. It's like if he had to throw a temper tantrum. I'm talking to Eliza. If he had to throw a temper tantrum, that would be displayed in the purse bid. That's why it's not a good thing.
But
so you don't think that?
Keyshawn?
But think about this: Keyshawn doesn't have a belt. He was made number one out the blue, and the thing is, he's about to fight against Devin, who's been at 147, who beat a champion at 147. So by him coming up with negotiations with Devin, and you already only got 15 fights, you ain't really did shit to even get to that.
Well,
you don't think that 25? You don't see what I'm saying? Damn, you don't see what I'm saying? Like that is diva-ish. That is diva-ish. To do that.
But he don't want to go to 47, and he was not talking. He was not calling out Devin. Was his father?
That's what I'm.
Haney's father was the one calling out Keyshawn and looking fight with Keyshawn and tell him to go up there to 47. That's the reason he's not in 140. A lot of fans see it that way. So
yeah, I got you. It's just happening right before your eyes.
But this is what I'm gonna say, Swag. I've seen diva tendencies from Keyshawn, but not in this instance, because the negotiation was the negotiation, right? And we don't know really what was offered, and I believe because I've been tracking Devin and them for years. Keyshawn kind of came on the scene, and I tracked his little things, and when he started doing certain things, I was like, I like him inside the ring, but outside the ring, I could see a lot of issues, right? But in this instance, this wasn't his fault, because knowing Devin and Bill and them, I don't think they came with a right offer anyway. I don't think that they even came.
I don't either.
I don't think they came correct. And so the fact that it's in purse bid, that ain't Key's fault. Like, he is playing his role with that tag team shit. He is doing that. But because Jay Prince knew, he said, that's why he said the 2 double barrel shotguns. He knew that Shakur was going to be difficult, and Shakur tried to do that 44 pound, and he got his bluff called, and that's what made him look bad. Once Devin called his bluff on that 44 stuff, that made Shakur look real bad. Now the other double barrel shotgun is still sitting there pointed at you, and he like, what you gonna do? Make a move. You know what I'm saying? So now he just sitting tight and being quiet. This is the quietest I've ever heard Keyshawn in the except for when he took his little hiatus. This the quietest I've ever heard Keyshawn. So I can't put the diva on him for this in particular.
I'm always on team now. I'm just playing.
Yeah, no, like Keyshawn is like, why you doing in 47? You can do so many shit in.
No, I told y'all I thought it was a shitty. I just think it was a shitty deal. I think that Devin presented that to Keyshawn, and Keyshawn looked at him like, "This is it,"
pretty crazy.
and he says a shitty deal.
And Keyshawn got more back off in the
Yeah,
WBO because in
Listen.
the WBO they like Keyshawn. That's their guy. WBO Keyshawn is their guy. Doesn't matter in what they're gonna be the number one, and they're gonna offer him the title every single time.
Yeah, because it's proximity. You're part of the friends and family group with the leader being Terrence Crawford.
But Haney,
the WBO dollar.
WBO don't like him like that. So that's why they're gonna, like in part, WBO prefer Keyshawn be the champion instead of Haney. But it's like they
because
like Crawford,
you got the lineage. The WBO is gonna favor the lineage. You feel what I'm saying? When it comes down to what these guys are doing, and at the end of the day, I'm just like, I don't really know the dynamic or how you guys really want to rock with that, because at the end of the day, you don't get the sanctioning fees off of the title defenses. You're basically saying, all right, these one shot deals at these different weight classes are big enough and good enough money for us. And if that's how they want to rock, fine with them. But what I wanted to say,
I don't know how they do their business.
Yeah, I don't know how they do that
I don't
shit
know
neither. But what I'm saying is, in concerns in looking at Keyshawn Davis and the advantage that Jay Prince offered him, you feel what I'm saying? By paying his way into that number one position. Yeah, he said he woke up, whatever. Shakur was vibing for him to for Devin Haney to drop the belt to make a mega, or what they was considering a mega fight at 144, whatever the case may be. So yeah, Keyshawn, you could say Keyshawn was placed in that position, and he doesn't have to do anything. So yeah, outside of this one situation right here, Keyshawn is in a good place. He doesn't have to do nothing. The argument that I made earlier is a nitpick argument based on the dynamic that I see that was going on the side, to where we were probably thinking, hey, wait a minute, this Keyshawn versus Brian Norman thing may grow some legs and be the fight to be made. And then once that started to happen, everybody was like, yeah, I'd rather see that. Yeah, let's get that fight going. So just outside of that, you put that aside. That's a whole nother argument, a whole nother beef or whatever. Deal with this situation right here. Keyshawn is not in the wrong. He's placed in a situation. All you got to do is keep your mouth and shut up. You are placed in the plug just to watch it. Make sure dudes ain't doing nothing. And at the end of the day, you still got the other room over there with the topless chicks bagging shit up. So listen, you don't have to say nothing, bro. Just sit back and collect. But what we're gonna look at is what happens after that first payday at 47, which is probably gonna be, you're going to get this belt. More likely, you will probably petition for the elevation versus fighting for the vacant title. So with that,
they shouldn't allow him to do that.
And that's the part that I'm gonna look at and be like, nah, that's some bullshit. Because at the end of the day, y'all allowed him to skip to the number one, and there's some legitimate names up under where he's at for the WBO.
Guys, if you hear in the WBO when the president talk about that, why Keyshawn be number one, what he said is basically, no, it's because the board of that make that decision, the board that made the decision, they already took a decision in Keyshawn to be the number one. I don't have no controls in those decisions because that is on the board, but they got in a meeting and they choose that Keyshawn have the qualities to be number one. Why he never fought in 140, neither in 147? Why he's number one? Well, I don't know. That was the decision of the board, and well, I gonna support it. And you're like, what the fuck? You're the president of the freaking WBO. What you mean? Where the board got
can't overrule the board as the president. He cannot overrule.
No, yeah, it's so much bullshit.
Yeah.
He's
He's outvoted. That was a quorum. That was a quorum type of vote, which actually came from each one of those members could actually,
And who are the members?
Contacted.
Where they got that meeting in? We don't know shit. It's like just
and those meetings can happen online, offline, via whatever. But at the end of the day, we're not privy to that. But if Keyshawn was moved to this number one spot, it was a significant amount of money that was paid to get him to that number one spot. And with all of that money
that
paid,
meeting happened on Zoom. It happened on Microsoft.
But look, y'all know what's so funny? Y'all know what's so funny about this? We just went through this when Shakur put out that little lie he was doing, and that lie he keep perpetuating about the WBC and all of this and all of that, right? What's so funny is we had fake outrage back then when Shakur was like, yeah, I paid them and all that, you know what I'm saying? And it's more context to that nobody really wants to acknowledge, but nobody says nothing about Keyshawn getting elevated all the way up to number one like that. There is no outrage. Why? Because people do not keep it consistent.
Yeah, that's a huge payday, and that's at least $1 million right there.
So this the thing. He was champion in 135, 147. What you can he only have.
Let body finish,
That's how Malaza be rocking up here. I know how Malaza get down. He's just passionate. I understand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I let him rock out. But this the thing, y'all. This is what I was trying to say, that like Shakur, Keyshawn,
somebody's snoring.
Yo, my man.
This the thing. Shakur, Devin, and Keyshawn. This is where you're finally gonna see them all kind of get exposed. Keyshawn, he was the last one that we got hope in, right? But the fact that he getting that strap and he's going up to 47 without the real experience up there at that weight class, he's going to be, because this is why I say they all tiptoed up past 40. And you see Shakur, he's not really actively trying to fight nobody at 40. They all tiptoed up past 40 to get to 47. This is the thing. Keyshawn going to be up against it now. He's going to have that strap up at 47 because he's going to fight. He's going to have to fight some killers. He ain't going to be able to no. He ain't going to be able to just tiptoe and prance around and do all of that up at 47. Now, he's going to have to fight. And so we're going to have to see. We just got to wait and see. Hopefully Devin, and hopefully they figure it out and Devin don't drop that strap, because, man, if Devin dropped that strap, boy, man, he going to look bad, because everybody glazed over the whole him not taking the Tank offer. Everybody glazed over that. They just skipped from the Rolly straight to the Shakur, straight to the Keyshawn. But in there, you could have got the 70-30 with Tank that would have set him up big time with his biggest payday ever. And he said, nah, I don't like the way you talking to me, blah, blah, blah. And they moving forward. So
he pulled the Shakur, I don't like the way you talking to me. And
I don't like the way you talk to me.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to acknowledge that.
But just to give y'all an idea, Ryan Norman Jr. sits at number 2. Keyshawn is number 1, right? Teofimo Lopez, who's talking about a fight, he's sitting at number 3. I'm gonna tell y'all who's number 4, but he's completely irrelevant. Manny Pacquiao. You got Barbosa at number 5, and you got Rohan Polanco number 6. You got Alexis Rocha at number 7, and Giovanni Santilli at number 8. That's just the top 8. What rounds out the top 10 is Paul.
That's a nice mix, man.
Paul Cruel, Raul Cruel. I'm sorry. And Tiger Johnson. That rounds out the top 10.
Yeah, that's a good.
And this is who Keyshawn was able to jump.
Pacquiao should not be there. You know?
Yeah.
Like Pacquiao is like, what are you doing there? You're way up there. You're taking a spot of somebody else.
Yeah, that's why I said, like, Manny, come on, bro. Like, Manny, what are you doing? You shouldn't even be ranked. But I get it. That was a payday.
for the WBO to just keep Manny Pacquiao's name relevant or whatever. I mean, he may be used as a tool, to block fights or whatever. Yeah, I'm about to fight Manny, but the shit doesn't really turn out to be anything. But at the end of the day, man, I just wanted y'all to hear who are the top 10 fighters that Keyshawn was able to surpass on his just waking up and praising God. All of a sudden, he's sitting at number. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, you praise God that somebody put up all of that bread for you, and now all you got to do is just sit pretty. Be difficult. Make Dev look at other options because
in a buddy system, man. Yo, we could have another show on Shakur because I'll be on his ass. I mean, I can't stand some of the shit I be seeing him do, man. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Nah, but at the end of the day, that's where I landed right that so everybody could give their closing thoughts and stuff like that.
Yeah, but Shakur, what he's doing lately and how he's talking since nightcap, and that shit, and oh my God, they both keep rolling down and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm like, bro, but whatever. He's a young man and whatever. Do whatever you want. Let's see what happens. Like with this, I hope Haney and Keyshawn happen because already we lost Romero and Haney, and whatever, and he moved up to 147. I don't know for what, because he have a lot of shit to do in 140. It's a lot of good fights over there, and it's other titles to capture. And look, the Shakur now is in Sufa, so you can, you got the whole ballpark for you. So I don't know. It's like every time we're looking to these boxers and we're getting like back behind them and stuff like that, they do so many stupid shit, like not just inside the ring, it's just overall. Like, cabrón, you are not even that big yet, and you're talking like, and I don't know. I know you captured a couple goals over there in your career and stuff, but to become a main star, and so it's not just winning goal. It's how you behave and you carry yourself and how you talk and how you respect other people that want stuff too, and they're legend in their sport. And so I don't know. I try to get behind these guys, but they do sometimes so many shit that I'm like, fuck, damn, I can't, like I cannot get behind this dude. Like, what the fuck is, like, so I don't know. I don't know. Like, I hope these guys start to think, or somebody else come and start to, Abdullah. I like Abdullah. I hope that kid, do it better and whatever. And it's a couple guys out there, but they get a couple bread and whatever. They get a empty chain, and they think, but that's me. I hope they get better. I hope the boxer get better and fill up the void.
Good point.
Straight up. No, man. Straight up. I ain't gonna lie, for my closing thought, I'm just listening to the whole conversation. Salute to all y'all, man. Like, I learned a lot, gave dialogue, man. It was just a good time, just for sure. It always is, Body. You already know. Appreciate you, man. I think it's about a lot. I think a lot is about to happen, especially for like content wise, or if that's what you do and look for different situations, but also in the business of boxing. I would say definitely Eddie's in the pickle with Josh Kelly being his boy with that belt, and then having one of the hottest superstars in boxing right now just giving us living color in motion. Like, he should be undisputed. That's gonna be something for Eddie to give up Josh Kelly he's English, you know what I mean? Like, that's a countryman, so I don't trust Eddie in that situation at all. Boots is going to take the back burner of whatever. And if Boots they do find an agreement, Boots is going to have to go to UK to make it worthwhile for the UK fans, which it would be bigger. As far as Keyshawn and Devin, I think Devin offered them a shitty deal. They rolled the high offer having Turkey out of sheet. He had a lot of money during that time. I'm not saying it. I don't know behind the scenes or whatever, but when Turkey leaves, that's a big portion of your pot or your leverage that leaves too. So I think he offered it to Keyshawn. Keyshawn know he a star, up and coming, And I know Keyshawn didn't know the numbers until he actually got to fight Devin. He probably looked at Devin like, what the hell is this? and he let it go to purse bid. And all of a sudden now, with the brilliant minds of John, John Prince, Bob, whatever the hell they got going on, they're gonna make this a big event with the purse bid, which is boring as shit when you think about it. They about to make money off of this streaming if casual fans are gonna look into that. I think it's a show. I think it's gonna happen. But just listening to y'all right now, man, I'm not even the biggest Devin fan, but I never thought he would just drop his pride and drop a belt at 147. But y'all say he might. I think Devin gonna have to bite the bullet that he is offering shit to Keyshawn, and he gonna have to do negotiations with Keyshawn to maybe give the brother, you take 65 and he take 35. He can bend a little. 75 ain't the set shit he gotta do.
It's it. It's 75-25. That's it. He can't. It's no more. If the pot get bigger, whatever it is, it's gonna be 75-25. That's just the rule.
If Keyshawn,
it could have been wiggle room beforehand, but like no, at this point, it's no more wiggle.
But check it out then. No.
Take care, guys. I gotta go. Take care.
Let me finish. I'm gonna land because I know it's closing the end of it. Okay, I like that because you enlightened me for real. So if it is like that, Keyshawn probably listening to Shakur and Jay Prince, in my opinion, go to purse bid. I think somebody maybe promised that somebody gonna come through like Riyadh season and offer a bigger pot. That's the only reason why I see Keyshawn having the strength and courage and business to do that. So we gonna see, but y'all like me. Shit, he might drop the belt. Devin might drop the belt. So okay. That's it. That was it for me.
Well,
good point though. Look, I would say this, man, to close it out. He's locked in, right? But I do think that maybe it's a number. Maybe it's like, okay, we'll wait and see whatever, but this is the most we want to do. And I think that was already mapped out because you gotta think about it. With Zuffa, with Turkey having some kind of control over Zuffa, right? But then also having whatever bread they got left or whatever his plans are with whatever he had going on with Riyadh season, then Turkey had him boxed in because there's three things. They say that he had a deal and he was at the end telling it was 3 fights, but he only did 2 of the fights. He did Jose Ramirez, he did Brian Norman. There was one more, right? And they alleged that it was 12 million per 36, whatever. I don't know. I don't care. I don't pocket watch. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that. But my thing is, they had him boxed in saying, look, because I think they were trying to nudge him over in that Zuffa direction. But I think Bill was hip enough to say, nah, because we're going to get Shakur, and it's a possibility we might can get outboxed on that. You know what I'm saying? We might be able to get outboxed in that situation, and then what we going to do? We're going to be stuck over there? Nah, right? And that's why he was saying, he was adamant about, I'm not going to drop my strap. I'm not going to drop my strap. The only thing is there is a history of him dropping the strap. When he went on that hiatus from Ryan, Puello and Gary Antoine fought for the strap. Puello was the victor. He didn't come back. Like it's like you go to the bathroom, you out with your lady, y'all sitting down having dinner. You go to the bathroom, you come back, it's a ninja in your seat. It's like, nah, bro, you know what I'm saying? You got to get up, you got to go. He didn't do that. He wound up doing the whole Sandor Martin thing. That went to purse bid, right? And what did he do? He vamoosed. So historically, he had a record of doing that. He dropped the strap. He dropped it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like past behavior is a indicator of future behavior. So you can look at somebody's past, not always, but you can look at somebody's past and see what they want to do in the future. That's like not always, but like you can't put it past them. So that's a realistic ideal to it. I think that Keyshawn and Shakur, they already knew the plan. That's why Shakur was adamant about like, nah, he gonna fight me. We gonna meet over here and we over here Zuffa or whatever. Even though he was lying all that time about not signing the Zuffa and he had been signed. Straight lying through his teeth, right? The whole time. He's like, either you gonna fight me over here, Zuffa, join over here so we can make this splash, or you gonna fight Keyshawn or drop that strap. And they was adamant about, nah, he gonna have to drop his strap. He gonna have to drop. That was the goal for them. They wanted Devin to drop the strap. So the offer was gonna be shitty. They was not gonna participate. They was gonna be difficult. The same way Schofield was when it came down to the whole Tank situation. It's like, how difficult can you be when you getting ready to fight Tank? You know what I'm saying? You're going to get paid handsomely, but then you want this mount, you want this, all this, like you got some kind of real leverage. And look at you. You got asked out. Now you got to fight somebody else, but that's not as big as the Tank fight. That's the same thing that Shakur and Keyshawn is doing. They had Devin in the corner, right? And if Devin don't do what he's supposed to do, and somebody don't come through, like that meeting that they had where I'm thinking like Swat said, somebody came through and they got a set number that they're gonna do. Like, all right, we're gonna wait and look and see if somebody else do it, but this is the number we got. Like, we're gonna, it's just like when you go, it's an auction, like AC said. That's what's up on that slide that I showed, that thumbnail I put up there. That's what this is. So you already have a set amount to where it's like, oh, if it go over this number, it ain't nothing, or you know what I'm saying, I only got this much to put down on it. I think that they probably have somebody in their pocket that's going to do that, right? And they can save the card. But if Devin dropped that strap, then Shakur looks bad, Devin looks bad, and now the onus is going to be on Keyshawn and how he act once he gets that strap, and that'll be yet to be proven. You know what I'm saying? That's my idea on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna close it out real fast. Basically, like I said, I tried to say something that he could use as leverage, and if there's somebody they have in their back pocket that's gonna do that and buy the fight and save the day, all right, cool. You feel what I'm saying? But the mere fact that it had to go this far, it showed several different things for me, to whereas you got to stop with all the DHP promotions type of stuff, because it's not what you're portraying it, or what you and your social media fans are saying about it. It doesn't have that kind of leverage and or pull, because if it did, you wouldn't be in this situation right now. You'd be talking way different. And just like it was spoken, Swab brought up a great point that I think you brought it up, to whereas y'all was saying that things can be intervened. You feel what I'm saying? And from that intervening, I forgot who brought up the example of the fight and stuff like that. It didn't go to purse bid like that, because they came to an agreement. All right, this is basically what you have. Now that the purse bid been ordered, the percentage doesn't change. So if Keyshawn was being difficult, he's still getting the same percentage. Devin's still getting the same percentage. So I don't understand where some of the difficulty is, unless you buy into the concept that they were strategically playing Devin Haney, and the fact that there is a finite time we have to make this fight. Now that I've been placed as your mandatory, and all I have to do is wait this out. I know you hadn't fought in the mandatory, and I know you've been sitting on that belt, and I know if we strategically move at the right time and get you in that position, you're automatically going to be the mandatory. So that's all of that stuff was done. And now all of this pressure is on Devin Haney to show up, show out, and improve. And if he doesn't do that, then it makes him look bad. It makes that whole concept of Debo Dev and, Dev dollars and all of that just completely go out the window. So this was a great live tonight. Everybody came to the table with their guns loaded, shooting shots and standing on their ground. And this was an exciting show for me, bro. And hopefully we have a lot more of these good in-depth conversations. And salute to everybody that showed up on the panel, and everybody in the chat, and salute to everybody on the playback game. Great show.
Appreciate you, AC, man. Thanks for dropping them jewels as always, man. And appreciate you too, OG Cass. He said good cook, man. We appreciate you. Thanks for the support. Hopefully, I didn't disappoint, man. Big Dre, I don't know, are you still there, Big Dre? Well, I don't know. But I'm gonna close out. And I'm gonna say, let's see where I'm at. Hopefully it was like I said always, man, it's always a war going on. It's a war going on with media, right? He who controls the printed page controls the thinking of this age. And a lot of these outlets, man, it's like even let's just say even with the boo-boo situation, right? As a boxing fan, as an analyst, I'm saying, yeah, he's been out for 2 years. Yeah, the defeat, he suffered a defeat, 6-rounder to David Benavidez, and we've seen the tear that David Benavidez has been on. For me, I pick and choose my battles, man. I think that sometimes we lose sight that there is a war going on, and I think that we can be a little bit heavy-handed when it comes down to actually talking about fighters and the points that we just want to harp on. It's like you got to step back and look at the big picture. If you got major media that's slanting you and going to shit on you, even though you had, think about Demetrius Andrade. He 32-1. I think with 23 knockouts, if my memory serves me. I know it's mid-20s. He 32-1, bro. He lost one fight. He's been inactive. Yes, he made some mistakes, but he's still one of our brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? He still put on 40 fights. He's put on 33 fights. It's the same thing I was talking about the other day when it came down to Earl. It's like we can't have it both ways to where we got the media who's going to paint and slant and get whoever to say and get this boxer to say that. Think about how they're using these boxers and the messages that's coming across. Do you want to be one that's going to be pissing in the community lake? Or are you going to put fresh water back in it? That's the thing. Understand analyzing and all that, but we got to pull for our guys. These guys who get hit in the head for a living, who probably ain't going to be able to do nothing really outside of this. Maybe some investing if they done right by their money. But I think sometimes, man, we could be a little bit lighter. You know what I'm saying? A little bit, not so much cayenne pepper when it comes down to certain individuals in this sport that we love, especially with this war going on. You don't want to be the one throwing another obstacle, another negative ass talking point, in front of Earl Spence just because you want people to look and say, oh yeah, right, you cooking, blah, blah, blah. Like, why? Earl's already up against enough. And then at the bottom line, us as Americans, at the end of the day, it's Americans versus Australia right now. You want to look at it like that. You can get real creative and finding reasons and ways to be able to support somebody, especially even if it's their last hoorah. You know what I'm saying? We gotta understand these guys are humans just like us, but they get hit in the head for a living. And those two fighters I just named combined, they got 2 losses. 2 losses. You know what I'm saying? So I try to take that approach, man. You're not gonna find me being one of them people that's gonna put out another hit piece or another obstacle on these guys in their comeback. Plus I be looking at it hold on, man, you got enough people in and around and about you that's just shitting on you and making it hard for you to gain any kind of positive traction, right? We got to think, are you being used as a tool for the media? Just think about Richardson Hitchens. And I'll land after this. Richardson Hitchens came out. He pretty much said all these outlandish and crazy things about Tank. And then, oh yeah, but Boots, he hit hard. It's like, why is he coming out of the blue just saying he hit hard out of the blue? Because they're latching on, trying to get storylines and get popularity off of it. It's like, nah, bro, you went over there to Zuffa. You got to handle everything with these 1s and 2s. STFU. You know what I'm saying? And just get in there and put down the 1s and the 2s. That's the only way to be able to redeem yourself. And whether or not you will be able to redeem yourself because you done shown your character, we don't know. That's all we really want to see you do is just STFU and get in there and put down the 1s and the 2s, right? When it comes down to this purse bid. We're gonna see. We're gonna see, man. I think that this was like behind closed doors. We don't know what kind of conversations be going on, already agreements and all that. I think to a certain extent, they all play us. I think when people shut up and they get quiet about certain fights, and where it's like, well, how he ain't saying this? It's like because they know the realistic time frame is like, look, if we are going to fight, it's going to be at this time. Like every boxer knows, you if you've been watching long enough and you see these interviews, they say, yeah, I knew. Like, yeah, we knew. It's just like they knew, like Bud knew he was fighting Canelo way out. Like right after the Earl Spence, they knew. People knew. They just supposed to keep shit mum for a certain period of time. And that's why some people, with they being chatty patty, they come out and they'll leak something, or they'll come out and, you know what I'm saying, might have a Freudian slip or say something, they let us know. But like most of the time when people get quiet, they already know what's going on. We know that Bill and them, they were vying for that Shakur fight, right? Because of the money. They didn't really want to fight Keyshawn. Why? He don't really even fit in the legacy path. I know they had him on the list, and I think originally that was something cute. Then shit got real because he was dealing with Jay Prince, and Jay Prince and Top Rank, they've been hand in hand. They've been like this for a long time. But it's real odd how he says no to two big fights, a unification with Rolly and the biggest payday of his life with Tank, and he said no to both of those. In pursuit for what? A lesser fight with a lesser challenge. You might get outboxed, but not as much danger. And guess what? He landed in a crosshairs of Keyshawn Davis. Do we have a shot to be able to beat Keyshawn? Maybe. Keyshawn has shown that he's not as disciplined as you would think. And I think that the last time Keyshawn missed weight, it was on purpose. Why? Because he could say, I'm getting too big and I'm moving up. And what happened? He moved up. I joked about it on the live beforehand. I was saying, man, I'm going to give Keyshawn the benefit of the doubt because he made weight with Jermaine Ortiz. I said, but I wasn't going to make a joke about will he make weight or not. And guess what happened? He missed weight. He came back and got back on the scale and did what he needed to do for the fight to go on. He didn't do what he did with De Los Santos. But a lot of this stuff be orchestrated and planned, man. We can't be so naive. At the end of the day, all we really care about is getting good fights. They don't got every fight not gonna be a big fight. And I told y'all, we gotta start qualifying what exactly is a big fight. Because Shakur keeps saying all I want is big fights, but then he excusing away every fight is not gonna be some mega blockbuster. And if the money piece is already done, if you already satisfied money-wise, you just want the best fights available, the ones that's gonna entertain or do whatever. He don't even really want to do that. So I'm like, what is it really about? Is it about the 15 minutes of fame? Are you done pleasing your fans? You already don't care what we think. And you say the UK fans are better. To a certain extent, maybe they are. Because we still see they're going to get behind Chisora, whether he get knocked down, you know what I'm saying, knocked out, whatever. He going to keep supporting. But us, Earl Spence unified 3 straps, lose to arguably the #1 pound-for-pound guy in Bud. And now nobody want to see him. And the narrative is that, oh, no, he need to hang it up. He need to do this. It's like, we got to think about these things. That's what we here for. We're not just here to just for you to get your little rocks off, get your jollies, you know what I'm saying, have your jollies or whatever. We are actually in the sport as fans and content creators. We're in the sport of making our sport sustainable. It's already turned to WWE, WWF. Either way, Keyshawn fighting for that belt, either against Devin or someone else. Yeah, he's going to. And I think he's going to be up against it too. They all are. They all should have fought at 40, gradually moved up and worked their way up because it's hard, just like anything else. It's like, yeah, I could do this. I could do that. Yeah, I could drive a truck. I could do this. And then somebody put your ass in that seat. And you're like, hold on. Well, how you do to get it? No, it's too late. That's what Keyshawn gonna be. He in the catbird seat right now, and if Devin dropped that strap, he's gonna go from being the hunter to the hunted, and people's tune be changing once that happens. We just gotta wait and see. Anyways, man, purse bid is not a victory, right? It's not an overwhelmingly good thing. It's not an overwhelmingly bad thing. What it means is that they didn't negotiate, and I'm gonna tell you this. Somebody else said it too. Free agent, like when people are free agents, people don't let like Melazar said it. Matter of fact, free agents, they don't let free agents just walk. You know what I'm saying? If you are the good, they don't just let free agents just get up and just get out the door or whatever. No, they gonna pay them, keep them happy, make sure they stay. Why? Because they are commodities. These boxers are commodities. So that's why I said, quote unquote, superstars going to purse bid. That is nothing to celebrate. That's nothing for you to grab your popcorn and blow. Oh, I want to see. Yeah, for the ins and outs as hardcore. Yeah, it'd be cool to see it. But that's not a good indicator, man. They're going to purse bid. That means that, hey, the money wasn't right. The money wasn't funny. Somebody was being unfair, impartial. It's a lot of indicators. Will we win? Maybe. We only win if we get to see them two fight. Otherwise, everybody loses. Silence is consent, meaning that all it takes for evil to prevail is for men and women to remain silent. So we got to speak to the things in the sport of boxing that need to be spoken to, right? That's why we got to say something. Don't mean we got to beat boxers in the head and be derogative, but, you know, do your thing if that's your cup of tea. It's not mine. You know what I'm saying? We do honor the fact that they get hit in the head for a living. Hopefully in today's live, you was able to put something in your rucksack and march on. Remember, we are monetized. Support the channel. You know what I'm saying? You can hit the Cash App. You can hit the Super Chat. You know what I'm saying? We try to give you nutritional value. More than just talk and tossing opinions from our hips. We try to give you factual information. Something that you can be like, okay, I never thought about it like this. Different perspective. We always say, go where everybody know your name, and they always glad you came, and they always sing your praise, and then come here what we got to say. But y'all know I could talk this boxing talk all day and all night. Salute to everybody who showed up and contributed to the channel in some shape, form, or fashion with their input or whatever, man. I appreciate the support. You see, we have good cooks, man. People can have their opinions. You can disagree. You know, D-Free disagree with me about something. I say, hey, man, you right. That's your opinion. You right to have it. I'm not going to have a knockdown, drag out. Nah, we're going to live to talk another boxing conversation and move forward. And I think that's the standard for boxing talk. Anyways, y'all, thanks for choosing Bodywork Boxing. Well, we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.
He didn't want to box. He wanted to actually prove that he could punch with you. He was like, what the fuck is this nigga, right? Oh, okay, you want to go to sleep. You tired.
Welcome to Bodywork.